error messages and every other garbage thing. It's just, you know, they're doing everything they can to make people not do this. Like they're gonna make it so the only conceivable way to stream something is if you just stream a low resolution terribleness into people's eyes directly off your cell phone with the 720p cap. I think they don't want to pay for the bandwidth anymore. I think that's what it is. So we begin again, as always, with one foot in the grave. I open up OBS, I get the cameras turned on, I'm like, yay, it's great. And then I look down at the bottom, and there's no broadcast button. And let me tell you why. Because every time I close OBS 32.0.4, it erases everything. Stream key is gone, account connection is gone, all of it. Is this on the YouTube side or is this on the OBS side? It doesn't matter. Does it even matter? It doesn't matter. So you have to, inside the control panel, OBS has to log into YouTube so that it knows where the ingest server is, so it knows where to send all of this. And then you have to log into Studio through OBS, like concurrently. It forgets them both. So it takes 10 minutes every time I launch OBS. If I quit OBS and launch it again, it's all gone again. So anyone who might be like, well, that's what you got for having a Macintosh. It has nothing to do with the platform. It has to do with OBS and YouTube. Apparently, I don't know, hating each other. I don't know what it is. And from everything that I've read on the internet, Streamlabs is worse. So I'll do it myself. He's got a winky on it. We'll let's see. How long can we put user in timeout for 1 minute? There we go. Well, we're gonna we'll time rascals. Put user in timeout for 1 minute. Confirm. Never update your software. That exactly right there. Google is limiting all of their platforms because of AI power. I don't know if that's true, but I have no reason not to believe you. I would believe that that's absolutely true. Because I remember reading a couple of years ago that Netflix was responsible for consuming like 40% of all bandwidth on Earth. But that was before AI was a thing. So who knows now? Anybody who makes PC references, like 3D printers are fine today. We're fine with 3D printers today. But anybody who makes any PC or Mac references, but it could be the Mac doing something. Look, okay, we have to be consistent. We're going to time him out for a minute. There we go. We'll put user in timeout 1 minute. There we go. Thanks so much, Mr. Turner. Mr. Turner is keeping everything running. This is not a place. We will not discuss what platform anything is running on. It's funny because I was talking to the blind guy as we were driving back, and I was like, all of the people who talk about, well, if it were not for that stupid little apple with a bite out of it, none of this would exist. None of it. No videos, no live streams, no nothing. No trailing episodes, none of it. Because if I had to deal, look, it's not even anxiety. When I have to drag that ridiculous Acer laptop out to program an Outrunner, it fills me with rage. Because I pulled that thing out to open up BL Heli Suite 1.82, and the computer proceeded to turn itself off and then back on 3 times as it updated necessary pieces of software. Get straight out of my face with that. Which is why I still say, regardless of what is getting reviewed, because I review them all. If you're going to buy an Outrunner, just buy a Secure and program it from your phone. If you have to plug it into a PC, that's why I'm not telling anybody to buy a Rhino. They work great. Buy a Secure instead. Never tuned in AM32, Escape 32's jam. Yeah. I'm talking about the controller. Yes, Escape 32, not the AM32. Man, I started off in a bad mood when this started because of the software, and then there's just enough snark in here today that I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I would rather go sit in the sun. So, I do apologize if anyone of school age is home right now. I realize it's the middle of the day, but myself and everyone else included needs to chill the fuck out. All right? Work with me here. I've got a whiteboard. I've got stuff that I need to do, and I will fucking do it whether the camera is on or the camera is off. Does everyone understand? Are we? I feel like I'm talking to a fucking kindergarten class. Does everyone understand what's happening right now? Because I'm going to crash the fuck out. This is going to be the 3D printer episode all over again. We're going to rewind in time 5 months, and I'm going to turn this thing off. Okay? Every day is not the best day. Today is not the best day. And I was doing great until about 10 minutes ago. So, we're all going to woosha, and we're all just going to take it down just a little bit. We're collaborating. We're all collaborating today, right? Am I right or am I right? I feel like I'm right. Oh, I'm not giving you the TI Fury this early on. It's way too... It's way too early for the TI Fury. By the way,
18 scale? It's a tiny box.
Right? Shipping dimensional weight, it says 5 by 5 by 5. I don't know what that means. There's 5 by 5 by 5. It was also shipped as bicycle rear shelf iron bicycle, which is apparently a good way to get around, I don't know, tariffs or whatever. But the gross shipping weight of this box, which is not huge, it's just over 2 hands, 2 kilograms, 4.5 pounds, including the box. So I get the idea that the old TIE Fury is going to be pretty light. I'm looking forward to that. Are you ordering direct? No, we went through Crazy Trillion Hobbies, which is shipped. You order your PayPal payment goes through to Crazy Trillion Hobbies, and that's crazy with a K. And then your shipping, it is shipped by Shenzhen Whale Feather International. I love it. I don't know where that got lost in translation, where we got to the whale feather. But the labeling on the front of this is crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 labels on the outside of this box. It's like one of those boxes it's like a trope in a movie. Solid 12 degrees Fahrenheit. Sir, I would love to be the one to share this with you because it makes me feel a little better. It is currently 69.8 degrees. Nice. Inside the building, it's probably about 78 degrees outside right now. We will get over 80 today for sure because y'all stole all the cold and there's no cold left. So the heat is hanging out here. I don't think we have a day coming up in the next 10. Okay. This is now. Okay. It costs a fortune to live in California. That's one of the prices that we have to pay. But So you see that, oh my God, next Sunday is going to be terrible. It's going to be 73. But the fact that Wednesday is going to be 81 degrees, this is the middle of winter. Winter officially canceled this year. Yeah, so last wheel on Wednesday was 3.33333 degrees centigrade, and we were at 7,000 feet up in the mountains, and still it was 41 degrees. This time of year up there, it should be in the 20s. So we are 15 to 20 degrees above normal right now. And I know that typically, not atypically, but typically, we don't have that persistence of memory. So you're thinking, it feels kind of hot today. And then you look at what I used to do when riding the bike is I would go to Strava and I would look at the weather conditions for that day 1 year ago. Exactly the same. It would be exactly the same. It'd be like 1 or 2 degrees different one way or the other. And that's not the case now, because I remember the man from Tennessee said that like on Monday, it was 77 degrees, and like 2 days later, the high was 24. And I was like, nope. We like our consistent lack of any weather. I want to see what's going on there. That's how I'm going to keep you around. That's how I'm going to keep you around. If I show it now, everybody's just going to leave. That's why we don't give things away right at the beginning of the streams either, because everyone would just leave. So there's actually so he needs minimal tinkering, this guy, but he does need he needs a little bit. He needs a little bit. This is, of course, actually, do we, minus 16? Nope. Do we know what this is? Can anybody, does everybody know who this is? He's in for a little bit of service. Not a big one, but a little bit of a one. He's in for a little bit of service. Check and make sure none of his screws are falling out. He seems all right. He seems mostly all right. Yeah, see, it's dusty. It's dusty. It's dusty. But the first thing I noticed the last time that I was recording a tire quick view is these are the link mounts from the SE, which are not threaded. So he's just been running M3x14s with no lock nuts on them. So you can just, I don't know what's holding them in. I don't know why all of these haven't just I don't know why all of these haven't just fallen out. There's nothing holding them in. And he's done a number of tire tests in that exact configuration. So I guess if you just get a little bit of lateral pressure on it, he won't fall apart. But he's supposed to have 3x6. Nope, that is a 16. I guess he's supposed to have 18s? Yeah, he's supposed to have 18s with lock nuts. I never leave early. I have no life. Hey, man, I don't leave early either, so I think that puts us closer together than further apart. But, I mean, I do wish the sun shone in here a little more, because I'm not here to complain about it being 70.
Built it in the trees.
But I did build it in the trees. Helps in the summer, harms in the, I can't even say winter. Harms in the part of year that's less hot. Apologize for being too long to start cash for my bids. Doesn't worry about it. RC and More for Fun was gifted a membership. It was either Steven Turner got you or Mr. Hurley sniped you. And I don't know if I posted a response to it, Mr. Hurley, but on the Discord, I call Mr. Hurley Chuck because A, I'm typing it, and it's faster to type Chuck than it is to type Mr. Hurley. And also, on the live stream, we have more than one Chuck. So if I said Chuck, it could be anybody. So that's that. There you go. There is some amount of method to my madness. Have you four-linked a wizard? It's funny you should ask that. It is funny that you should ask that. I don't know. Do you want spoilers? Do you want spoilers? There's 104 people here. Have 104 people earned the right to get some spoilers? Is the Mantis up on the whiteboard? It is. It is. I shaved the insides of the Mias bouncers. Interested in testing them? I would definitely be interested in testing them far more than I would be interested in shaving them. Because I don't do that. I don't cut and shut. I will cut lugs. And 5-link the wizard. Yikong style. Belt and suspenders. So I need to do this first. First things first. Late live stream spoilers is great for us Canyon Arrows. All right, don't let me forget. He asked about a 4-link wizard. There's a chance that there is a 4-link wizard in here. It's the perfect time to ask, what is a cut and shut and what's the point? A cut and shut is where you cut say you cut a 2.2 tire, you cut a wedge out of it, right? What can I draw on this and not ruin it? So you cut a wedge out of it to turn a 2.2 into 1.9. And then there are other ones where they will take a tire and they will cut meat out of the middle and glue the two sides together to make it skinny. What is the point of it? I don't know. People got time on their hands.
Different tires.
Back in the O day, we had a lot less options. So people were cutting and shutting to make the tires that fit their needs. But honestly, I would say that nowadays, we kind of have options.
I always thought cut and shut was 2 different tires smashed together.
Now, they used to do that in like buggy racing. You would take like the left-hand half of one tire and the right-hand half of another and glue them together. But when we're talking about cut and shuts, when it comes to tiny toy cars that go slow, it's typically to make a skinnier 1.9 or 2.2, or it's mostly to go skinnier. Or what they will do is take a 1.9. So give me a 1.9. I need a 1.9 that's not on a wheel. Okay. So you would take 2 sets of these, okay? And you would cut a wedge out of one of them, and you would cut the other one just straight, and then you would glue that wedge in and turn this 1.9 into a 2.2. That way your 2.2 is only this wide instead of going, well, this is a 5.75, but you can see it's significantly wider. So they want a tire that's, say, this big around, but only this wide. I have a buddy that runs a cut and shut 1.0 Patagonia to make them 64 instead of 52 for his comp truck, so you can both C1 and C2 run the same tires. Hey. Have I seen the new Kyosho crawler? Yes. And while I am not overwhelmed by the images that I have seen, I don't have to worry about it, because the one and the only Miata commuter has already ordered one, and it will be stopping here before it makes its way to its forever home in the mythical land of pants. So I will get my hands on one probably 5 to 7 days after the good folks at A-Main Chico, California get their hands on one. Is Nokia a phone manufacturer?
Yes.
Nokia is a phone manufacturer. I don't know what a Nokia is. That's, yeah, Nico. Yeah. I remember that. I don't think I would pay what they're asking for it. It was coupon eligible. It was like $4.50, I think is what they said it was, which is a lot. We all acknowledge that that's a lot. And I think what everybody who buys one is paying is you're buying, come on, you're buying that body. You're buying the body, right? The gearbox, I had said on the Discord, looks exactly like someone took a 10-3 slush box and rotated it 180 degrees so that the servos are on the other side. We know that the wheels and tires are going to be garbage. Things like, what do the inside of the axles look like? That's going to be forever a question mark. They are high pinion. So, I mean, it's Kyosho, and Kyosho has historically made pretty nice stuff. But I'll say it right now, doesn't hurt me. It's Miata Commuter. We're spending Miata Commuter's money, so it doesn't hurt me. But when I saw, when I was directed to the page, I looked for it. I looked for it at Kyosho Japan. I looked for it at Kyosho America. I looked for it everywhere. Neil Daniels sent me the link to get to it, to see where it was. And it's on like us.kyosho.something. Kyosho, how many websites do you need? When I strolled through the images, it looks like 2010. It really does. Like, there's nothing about it. Not revolutionary, not even nothing innovative, nothing. It looks like every other C-channel motor forward platform. It looks like everything else, except if there's anything that got the Kyosho treatment, it is that what an LC60. It's that body. The body looks fantastic. Decided to swap the motors. Is it just me, or is this FMS gearbox weird? All of the FMS gearboxes are weird. The gearbox in the Camel Trophy is weird. The gearbox in the older chassis are weird. FMS really goes their own way when it comes to gearboxes. There are some weird gearboxes out there. Charisma's treatment of the 3-gear, weird. Like, we're used to that orientation of top shaft idler output, and Kyosho's like, put them in a crazy winky line. Don't just put them in a straight line, or don't put them in that curve shape to lower the CG of it. Just go. Kyosho was always the one that was almost too expensive for me. Like, at the time, like in terms of buggies, like I've owned a Yokomo, and you know, I called a Yokomo a Fabergé egg that you could drive. If you looked at it sideways, that thing would break. Wonder if the Kyosho transmission could be flipped upside down to get the motor lower. I think genuinely, from looking at it, I'm already, it's giving off such a vibe of 10-3 slushy that there's only two possible outcomes that I see. It's a 10-3 slushy made by Kyosho, or they somehow managed to make it work. Like, if we put a micro servo in there, and by God, that dig engages and disengages, Kyosho will have done it. I will give that vehicle a positive review if that thing goes into dig and out of dig without having to put the vehicle in reverse. At that price point, there are better options out there. 100%. 100%. Kyosho does make quality vehicles. Kyosho, to me, was always better Tamiya. They still made stuff that was a little like, there's that very Japanese approach to it. But, you know, if you were looking at a Kyosho buggy of the days, there always seemed to be some other option. You have to add, it doesn't come with any of the servos for it, nor does the radio it comes with have the capabilities to do that. But Miata Commuter is largely radio link, just like I am. So we will slap a radio link in it, and I will just set it up. You know, I'll put it, as long as the slots fit normal micro servos, fingers crossed, we will see. Will the Mantis make an appearance today? Oh, the Mantis. Yeah, sure. I can give you. The Mantis can make an appearance. I'll show you right now. There you go. The Mantis. It's It's got the Revolt stickers. There's the Outrunner, drive shafts, chassis rails. The only thing that's not in the box... I'll show you the rest of the Mantis. Axles. Okay. There it is. The Mantis. It looks like mine. Yeah. The Mantis. Can you make a true bin crawler, cut some holes in a bin, and use that as his body? I mean, it could, yeah. The RC family, that's what my Mantis looks like. I get, this isn't the only one that looks like this. This is, it's honestly amazing that I've managed. There's the OD3 with a Rhino 2340 on it. There's my Lynx. There's the Secure 120. It's even got its receiver in here. The only thing that isn't in here is the steering servo, because I probably stole it. Probably stole it and put it in something else.
Drawer full of servos.
We do have a drawer full of servos, though. And I think I already know what servo is going in it, but that servo hasn't even been tested yet. So, time delay. The Mantis, a new chassis? Yeah, that's Revolts. There was I went to one of the crawler swap meets that was here locally just to kind of see it, walk around it and see what it looked like. And there was a guy that was driving a rig that he'd made the body out of a 2-liter bottle. And honestly, I would rather see that than a cliffhanger with it cut all the way up to the windowsills.
Wow.
Honest to God. That day, I saw more chopped up cliffhangers than I've ever seen in my life. Last time I had this guy out, and he didn't break, but he broke a little bit. I noticed the pinion angle is WRONG. Kyosho wanted to compete directly with Associate at a lower price, but they weren't in the same class. Still seems that way. Yeah. Have you found a good chassis to put the Tulo in yet? Yes. I have a plan. It came from the Workbench 42, and ignore the fact that we're approaching, it came from the Workbench 72, which will be the Mantis. Irwin pre-reserved 72. I've seen those chopped capper cages, and that actually looks pretty good. One of the few bodies that I'm absolutely on board with chopping it up is Stage Killer. J-Concept Stage Killer, to me, looks better cut up than it does when it comes stock. It looks like the sides hang down too far. It looks weird when it's full stock. I can't find... Sharp pliers, there we go. Hey, my 2200 is done. Oh, you know what I was supposed to do? Look it. Look it. Look it. Porque look it. I bought my own dual lock as well. Kyosho and Team Ass are definitely in the same crap class. Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. Team Associated had a Mystique, right? And I could never afford it, so I started with a Kyosho. I had an Ultima. Because it was cheaper. I want to say my Ultima kit was like $139 or something. Mind you, this was a few years ago.
1975.
This was back. We had to fight a gold miner for it. It happens. We're doing. You know what we're doing today? No, I'm seriously asking because I don't know. We're doing something. Something's happening. No, this is Dusty. This is Dusty. The only part of this that is actually Mias is the chassis rails, who were sent in by someone. I forgot. Oh, wait. Miata Commuter's here. We got to stop talking about Miata Commuter. Now we have to talk about the Spanish kid, because the Spanish kid's not here yet. Random. Saw your origin quick view, but a bit confused as why you would pick the Classic at $399 over the VS410 Builder's Kit that comes with portals and a twin for the same price. Because I didn't want a twin. Don't need a twin. And I don't think, I'm still bitter about the fact that they took from us, that should be perfect, the fact that they took the Phoenix kit from us and replaced it with the Portal Builders kit. Also, if I start with the Portal Builders kit, I would have built mine as straight axle if I didn't have Portal axles already here, right? I would have just put a 1200 SE in it and run it like that. But I wanted to build it as a Portal. When I saw it, part of the motivation to buy it was because I had bought a VRD to steal the gearbox out of, so I already had a set of Portal axles. Continuing. $399 for the Portal Builders kit, which gets you a twin. Then you're going to have to buy the Origin body for $110. It's not going to have the cool clipless stuff unless you add it, and I don't know if those plastic... We all heard that, right? We don't know if those plastic pieces are available separately yet. And then you're going to have to buy the servos for Dig and OD, which you wouldn't have to buy because I'm not going to run a VFD twin with lockouts on it. I'm also not going to take a VFD twin and put the VFD butt on it and delete all the twin stuff. And you need the bumpers and sliders, etc., etc. By the time you build one, by the time you turn a Portal build, a PBK Classic, you've spent well more than what I spent on this dude. Look at that. But that color, though. I can't get enough. It's so good. And that's the same can. Diablo was painted with that can of paint. Like 3 years ago? Probably 3 years ago. The same HVP 108 Duplicolor vinyl and fabric burgundy. The same. Is camera 2 see him? Nope. Camera 2 still asleep. It's not surprising. The stupid rats and frats him. I still think that Origin should have a pickle in the driver's seat. We're not saying that it won't, but I'm not making any driver decisions until they release the print files for the interior. I'm colorblind and can tell that's a nice red. Yeah, like, I don't like red. And that came out great. Like, the bodies that we have in fewest number are red.
And Origin.
And what?
And Origin.
We only have two Origins. $100 for a body is something I don't do every day. Maybe we'll even clean up his wiring. We're not going to clean up his wiring. This is why I cut the, this is the way I like to run a gear cover. The gear cover is only for, to keep the wires out of the spur gear. Somebody keeps walking around. Oh, they're doing it to me again. Did you paint last week's rig? What is last week's rig? I don't know. I don't remember which one. Is that red or purple? Mr. Hurley, in fairness to you, it's like red with a little bit of purple in it.
Ah, which is odd, because we also have a purple one.
Did you say need the girl from Tomb Raider driving the Origin? Do you mean Lara Croft? Come on. That's like saying the guy from Star Wars.
The guy from Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it's like you need the guy from Indiana Jones. Are you going to test the fake OT6 and Fetus AT tires? Let me tell you something. Let me move this beautiful boy over here. Let me tell you something bad that's happening. Fetus ats, right? Fetus ats. Class 1 Baja Claws. Class 1 Crawlers. fake KLRMs. Got these. I got these. And, but wait, it's worse. In a box from Mias are the 2.2 super crawlers. In a box from A-Main are Upgrade RC shields, Upgrade RC geckos, Upgrade RC 4.75 rock claws. I think I have 13 sets of tires that still need tested. It is going to be, I hope you're ready. You are going to be in full tire testival February because of the way the structure of the scheduling. There aren't enough open days to test all of the tires in the month of February because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 sets right here on the bench right now, and an equal number in transit. Plus, it's on the whiteboard. I still need to test the Loud X, the all metal Stealth X. I still need to test. Injora sent me a set of their new 10th scale shocks. I need to test those. They are on the list as well. They are somewhere in this pile of treats. I don't know. They must have fallen down in amongst the other stuff. I can't find it all. It's gone to the whiteboard. What's this Loud X? This is an all metal Stealth X. Everything is metal. And in place of a slipper, and this is a slipper shaft, RC Lions on Amazon. Every gear inside is metal. The spur is metal. The spur weighs 2 ounces. This gearbox weighs 3/4 pounds because the entire thing is made out of metal. For frame of reference, a Fusion SE with all of its wires weighs 200 grams, and this weighs like 320 grams or something like that. So you put a typical 540 on that, and you've got 500 grams of motor and transmission. Is that transmission quiet? I don't know. This is all I've done.
Sounds quiet.
And you know there's not a speck of grease in there. Not a speck. Update the camera's GoPro. I did. I updated the firmware on the GoPro, and nothing bad happened. Nothing bad happened. Unlike OBS, which basically got to the point where it forced me to update. It was like, this update is required. I still continue to pose the question, what are we updating? What are we updating? Like, it works now. And what you're going to do to it is probably going to make it not work. So why are we doing it? And yet I receive no answers. Dusty is, honestly, right now, Dusty is more dirty. It's more dirty than Dusty. The one I was saying was one you built from last week's live, the super lightweight one with the blue wheels. I remember that one.
A pounder.
I did.
Still clear.
I did.
Oh, you did paint it?
I did paint that. I was just looking for the link that I was holding in my hand. That's a thing that will happen to you once you reach a certain age. I feel like it's inescapable at this point. Yes, lightweight once. Well, lightweight twice. I've made this is Glidden. This is Glidden Max Flex Yellow, which no matter how many times I bang the can on a wall and shake it as long as I want, you can't get the little ball to come loose and mix it. And you can't really see because it just blows out the camera. So we've got the blue, we got the spattery blue, and in the sun, you can see that it has the last wisps of Spaztic's gold flake under it. So it's even more sparkly. I think the gold is what makes it that, like, really highlighter yellow. Because I don't think it's that yellow. It's like that yellow. But it looks really yellow. Oh, and then you can see what's going on under here. He has gotten some minor changes since the Ghost Ride. That stuff is documented in the episode that is recorded and not uploaded. Boy, that sure is yellow. It is indeed. He is quite yellow. And I believe that JP Wirt was to blame for that because he said, you should paint it yellow. And I was like, dang, blue and yellow sound pretty good. Could have gone black and yellow, black and yellow. Well, I would have gone black and yellow, Killer Bees, but it already had the $20. Why are you people talking about testicular torsion? Have you spent any time on the 41-11? Well, it's sitting at the end of the bench. Is that a cattail on your bench? The only thing he could be asking, this brush? Those are purple wheels, remember? I keep forgetting. That these are obviously purple. Them being the bluest things. Oh, this.
What, the brush?
No, what color are the wheels to you?
Purple blue.
All right, Mr. Hurley, you've got back up. The blind guy who is colorblind as the day is long says the wheels are purple blue. Yeah, this is a piece of, I think it's mahogany. Got some nice little color depth to it, like how we can do the chatoyancy. It's got the chatoyancy on it. And this is a 2.5 millimeter, 3 millimeter. This is just a piece of tool steel. This is a drill blank, and I drilled a hole in it, and I put that down right like that, and it is my link spinner. It's my link spinner tool, because woodworkers, we do stuff like that for no reason. They're as purple as a grape, says Mr. Hurley. Are you doing a Mias V2? Oh, and a guy at the club had voodoo links on his new build. OMG, now I get it.
Yeah.
I've never really been blown away. Oh, voodoo axles. Yes, they are that good. Don't get me started on updates. If it were actually for security, they would be available separately and indefinitely without having to update features as well. Yes! Aaron Schmidt, the colorblind man, says, blue is the only color I see worth a damn, and those are blue.
Purple blue.
If you did black and yellow, it would have set off the tisms in the damn chat. Black and yellow, black and yellow. Torsion. Oh, here's more testicle stuff. Torsion is when they twist around each other. The symptoms are immediate extreme pain and nausea. You have like 3 or 4 hours to fix it, or presumably they fall off. Not saying there aren't security features in the updates, but that's not their main concern. Yeah, I don't think it ever is. I think that every update, and this is because I'm negative by nature, every update is like, how can we gain more control? How can we take more control? Nope. We want less user autonomy. We're gonna release an update just so they have to whiz through the checkboxes and check a new terms of service, because there's something that we want to change. Yeah, so we're going to a link that is slightly longer because I was not a fan of my opinion angle. Anybody here from the Raccoon? He's on the he's been on the Discord. I think he said he was going to try to be here today. There's his. Wait, is that the pregnant man? He was thoroughly alarmed by the pregnant man emoji. What are we working on today? This has been at the top of the whiteboard with stars next to it for a while now, because Dusty needs this done. He and who's behind me? It's him and Tomax are doing some work, because Tomax has an episode coming up that he needs prep for, and I haven't even started to get into the prep. No. Yes? Yes. For the other guy. Ah, yes, the pregnant man and the horse. Say what you will about California. I don't think we've had one of those yet. We haven't had to pass any stop trying to have sex with a horse laws. But I don't know. I don't follow it that closely, so maybe. In high school, there was a guy we nicknamed the Pregnant Man. I have a full TRX4 I just took apart for spares for a different build. Have you heard anything from Zoku? That guy? I have talked to him on Instagram once since like October. He's got, I think he has 2 kids in sports right now. He is in the worst possible time of life right now, where he's always on they just don't report it. Yeah, state sanctioned. He is constantly on the way to something. He was supposed to send me a little box with a handful of sets of S8E 80mm shocks in it in October. And I've not seen those shocks yet. So I just remembered this goes on the other way. Hey, greetings to Germany. No way, Catherine O'Hara died? Blind guy's sitting over there going, who's Catherine O'Hara?
Pretty much.
She was the mom in Beetlejuice. Amongst other things, but that's what comes off the top of my head. I realized that was a hot minute ago. Well, they made that new Beetlejuice. It was okay. It was all right. It was all right. Well, whenever you make like a sequel, or I was hoping for a TRX4 House chassis update, oh yeah, the mom in Home Alone. Yeah. Oh, what you mean the worst mother ever? Like there's a pretty good video essay from a guy on the YouTubes talking about how Kevin McAllister had the worst family maybe on Earth. I'm happy to have lived through that stage of life Zoku's in. Yeah, better him than me, man. He can enjoy it for all of us. Travel sports. Ugh. I live in the now. Hey, we got it. I live in the now where I don't know about any of y'all, but my kids are going to be here forever. Because I have 2 basic options. I can pay for them here, or I can pay for them somewhere else. And if I'm paying for them here, at least every once in a while I can get one of them to take the trash out or something. So I can use that to my advantage. Even at that kick, we're still not fully above. Element axles, man. Center pinion. What are you going to do? And I don't even know. Somewhere in a box, I might have the plastic third members to change it out to AR44 gears. But I'm not, I just realized he's another 0-0 guy. Huh. I hadn't even thought of it. You ever mess with the Trail Fender 2 from Rusty Full Drive? The long wheelbase looks like a decent start for a trailing rig. What are your thoughts on it? I think if I was going to build a trailing rig, I would build, honestly, because, trailing is different things to different people, obviously. The only leaf springs I take out on the trail are Bruce and Sheila, right? Because if I'm going to put leaves on something, I want it to be big. For a trailing rig, honestly, the way I do it, walking behind it, traveling for distances, whatever, like the episodes where I head out with the pickle every Tuesday morning. I just want a rig that will track straight and hold his speed decently. I own one RC four-wheel drive vehicle, and full disclosure, Stu Nod, who I don't know if he's here today. Yes, he is, right there. He's been trying to get that RC four-wheel drive away from me, and I mean, I don't know. Is it a joy spark issue? I don't know what it is. But the compulsion to drive it is not high. And it's what with the tiny tires, and it made me think that I didn't like small tires, and it made me think that I didn't like leaf springs. And then I built Bruce, who, relative to his size, has even smaller than Class 1 tires. They'd be basically the equivalent of 393s because he's huge. And he's on leaf springs, and I love it. I mean, he takes a lot of maintenance. God, does he take a lot of maintenance. Keeping Bruce running is kind of like owning a classic car. Because I did make a 1-pound steel bumper for him and throw a bunch of stuff on him. And it was 2.5 hours servicing Sheila last week because all 4 of her shocks were just detonated. I just want to build a lot for the first time, honestly. Oh, yeah, I mean, an RC four-wheel drive. Well, okay. If you want to build something like a Trailfinder 2, ask yourself if you have Boom Racing money. Because Boom Racing does RC four-wheel drive the way RC four-wheel drive thinks they do RC four-wheel drive. Like, RC four-wheel drive is, there's nothing really to put in a letter and write home about. The Boom Racing stuff, particularly their axles, they're nonsense, man. BRX axles are as nice as any other axle that you can buy. It's like a rally car. My car has service every 30,000 kilometers. A rally car every evening. Yeah. 4 of the same tire, but 2 are soft compound. 4 are ultra soft. What axle gets the softs? Eco 410 says the rear tires would be softer. That's the conventional wisdom, the opposite way for me. Like my only point of comparison would be the old Predator G8 combo. And the only vehicle sporting that here is Yukio, the wife's stretch Capra, and it runs Predator Ibex in the front and G8 Ibex in the rear. Because what happens is when you get like this, those softies just go and they overload and they smoosh. So you put the heavier you put the stiffer, more aggressive, meaning you can give it more G8s in the back, and then you use the Predators up in the front. And it has worked. I believe that the man from Tennessee is running the exact, well, I know I don't know if he still is, but for a time he should have been running the exact same thing because he sent the Predator Ibex here to test. And I said, you want to split them? And he said, sure. And I sent him a pair of the G8 and a pair of the Predator, and that was what he was running at least then, and that is what that one is running now. And we are going to run them until they're fairly worn down, and then she's already got the geologic infections waiting in the wings, complete with squids in them and everything. So then she'll get stuck up on less stuff, and my inserts will be all broken down, and then she'll just be driving away from me. So I have that to look forward to. So, where's the Yukon? I can't even move it because it's just a pile of parts right now. You also turtle over backwards a lot less with less traction in the rear than the front. Yes. I got KLRs for the Jolly Green, but 4 are ultra soft and 2 are soft. Oh, so we've got 2 that are soft. I would put them all the way on the back axle, I would guess. Yeah, or just spitballing. Just try it. Take this with you. Put the softs all the way on the back. Drive it. Try not to clear your mind. Move them to the front. Drive it. See what happens. Yeah, 16 turn going in this guy right here. 16 turn going on this guy. Other stuff as well, but 16. I guess I should ask, what would you recommend for a build into a mixed use rig, but more trailing and just a little rock crawling? Like, if rock crawling is involved, and I mean anything above what you see on a Wheelin' Wednesday, I personally wouldn't do leaf springs. I still don't understand, and many people have tried to explain it to me, but when you get like the, Twisted Fab or whatever, where they do those really long travel leaf things, I don't get it. Like, that is very much a because I can sort of thing, I suppose. You're never going to get to the performance of a 4-link, but you're kind of trying to get to the travel and the movement of a 4-link. So, I don't know. Leafs are shorter travel. If you want longer travel, I personally say build a vehicle that's shorter travel. Maybe there's every possibility under the sun that I could be missing some important aspect of it. Have you ever had an AX10 roll across your bench? No, it's way before my time. I bought my first rock crawler in 2020. The AX10 was effectively already extinct by that point. Any of the RTRs you've reviewed in the past that you didn't recommend but now would recommend or consider since you discovered trolling? Not really. I mean, maybe a soft pass to the LC80 because you could put a 1200 Fusion in it and get it reasonably slow enough. But in a day where the camels exist, why would you buy the LC80? Because the camels are objectively better looking. And I'll say that for all three of them. Whether it's the 2, the Discovery, or the Defender. Would you want to try an AX10 for Turistas? I mean, I'll drive it. It would be less rocks than that. Oh, well then you can absolutely go Leafs. But I would try to poison you and take you to the darkest side where you're going to spend the most amount of money and convince you to get an FMS FJ40. And you would say, well, the FJ40 is RTR. No, it's not. And proof that it's not is, did I buy Sheila a present? Yes, I did. GCM LRT2. Yeah, there's another one. There's another $250 gearbox that I bought for an FJ40. What is wrong with me? I don't know. The wife's FJ is easily over $1,000. Easily. What am I doing? If you wanted to get the same high lift as the Twisted Fab Leafs, would you accomplish that with some type of chassis mod and long travel shocks? Yeah. I mean, what's
the O-ring lubricant you buy?
That I buy?
Yeah, don't you need it?
I've used ProTech. You just go by whatever has the largest container. So this is, everybody knows Ghost Rover. Like, if you want to build something to be high travel, just build something to be high travel. Like, that's not even the limit of the flex. Big difference in TFC Leafs are made from small engine recoil springs. Yeah. And I've seen the process to make that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because he has to, if he's going to make a set of Leafs, he has to buy 4 recoil springs and cut the same piece. Because, it's like this, right? So imagine this is one of the recoil springs. So if he wants this section of bend, he has to cut that one out of one recoil spring and then get another one and cut that same piece out. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That is a madness for other people. At least you're not buying a bunch of random titanium drop-shipped cages from Malaysia. I absolutely have not bought one or more of those. That's crazy. Who would do that? Oh, this bench is going to be full. There's not going to be a place to set anything down by the time I'm done. It'll be great. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, I don't even know what to expect from an AX10. I've never even seen one in person. I don't think. Twisted Fab Fancy stuff is usually on a VS410. Yeah. We've waited an hour. Well, I'm right in the middle of something, so you're going to wait another minute or two. So take that. We'll go hour and a half. Let's make a deal. 130. I'll make a 130 deal with you. You liked my stainless steel rulers? Okay. Yeah, Sheila is getting full. Sheila's getting full rear range. Was there any damage to Sheila's leafs after the axle wrap? Her rear leafs honestly look worse than her front. Oh, if you've driven a Red Cat Everest 10, you've pretty much driven an AX10. Oh, no. I don't like that. Hey. Miata commuter with the 5. I'd like to stay on the cheaper side. I just want to build a kit. You know, I mean, I don't know if it's your thing, but I had a genuinely pleasant time building the Ultra. I really did. It went together well, despite the manual. That does remind me, there was a comment on YouTube where he asked if I built the links to the right correctly. Clearly, he's never built one, but he asked me if I built the links correctly because I mentioned that the link page in the manual is not to scale. And I didn't want to respond to it because I wanted to make sure. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I know I'm not by looking at it. No. X2 rear lower links 124, and they mean end to end, not eye to eye, and that is 105. The 117 is 93, and even if you measure them eye to eye, the 117 is 132, and the 124 is 140. No, none of this is to scale. None of these is to scale. What transmission did you have in Scarlet? OD3. OD3. The AX10 is the opposite of LCG. That joy really came through in the YouTube. Oh, look, it's the manual. Yeah. Red Cat is perfectly fine on trails. I will say, from here, where I stand right now, I will say that aside from the ultimate issues of durability, you can drive anything on a trail. The way I view trailing. When I was talking about what I don't consider the Trail X to be a trail rig, and I got a bunch of in the comment, you couldn't make it 10 feet on the trails where we are. And I said, well, then those aren't trails, are they? Because the purpose of a trail is to more easily facilitate passage from point A to point B. That's why they call it a trail. But even where I trail, durability becomes the number one concern. Honestly, durability and trying to keep maintenance up, because it's really easy to not do maintenance. I feel like trailing, at least to a degree, applies the same way as I tell people, if you haven't ridden a bicycle since you were a child, you could ride 100 miles in one day. It would take you all day, and it would be very uncomfortable, but you could do it. Because the actual physical requirement of it, unless you're trying to cross the Alps, you can do it. I have a route that I could take you on, and you would manage, but it's gonna suck. A lot of it's gonna suck, and it's gonna turn into a huge mental portion. When I trail, I just want to make sure my body and my trail rig fall down a 45-foot drop. That's the thing I try to avoid, is the 45-foot drop. The pickle, in one of the weeks where, I'm just out there driving, I'm not recording any of it, he tried to drive into a reservoir, and I caught him just in time. I got to stop listening to naysayers. No, those aren't naysayers. Those are what I call buffoons, or sometimes alternately idiots. Because a trail is go look it up. It's a trail. Red Cats are great rigs, trail rigs, because once they break, you just throw them away. One less Red Cat in the world. I've got over 150 miles on a Gen 8. It's the Crawler of Theseus. The rails and frame plastics are still original. Yeah, anything can trail depending on how much you want to work to keep up with it. I have done 0 to our good... Now it's below my waist. Now you've seen it. I've done 0 to the pickle. I don't even dust him off. He is real dusty on the inside. But he should be absolutely up to the task of driving 3 to 5 miles every Tuesday morning and running through a 6,200 pack. The motor comes off the trail episode sitting every week right about 120 degrees, which is not remotely hot as far as an electric motor is concerned. It feels fine. It's not even really hot to the touch. And a 3.85 mile journey with the... Yes, correct. Never dust your pickle. A 3.85 mile journey with the cruise control set on 71 and effectively never disengaged for the entire time. Used 39% of the battery. Drove one of my TRX4s into a puddle that was a bit longer than the rig, turned out about 2 feet deep. Yeah. I thought Wheelin' Wednesday was recorded on Sundays. Wheelin' Wednesday is recorded on Sundays, but I go out on the trails by my lonesome. How many times am I going to drop that screw? I go out on the trails by my lonesome every Tuesday morning, and I drive for usually right about an hour. Because, my heart. And it's wonderful. Okay, you know what? Both of these screws straight in the trash. They've betrayed me for the final time. So what I hear is you're recommending a Red Cat for trailing. Why not? They don't have to work that hard. Why not? If the parts availability is good enough, you're not going to be asking anything ridiculous of it, and you're going to find out whether you hate it or not by how much it will go in a damn straight line by itself, which is honestly why I built that Cattleman to be what it is. Because with that 4-link setup, you drop that caster flip on there, and it will track pretty straight. It will go pretty straight. I don't have to make nearly as many steering inputs. Bruce is typically all over the place. All over the place. He goes wherever he wants, except when we were up driving on the Pacific Coast Trail. Then he went curiously straight. We had said that was Bruce's habitat, and he was happy to be there because he did not misbehave the whole time we were up there. And usually I'm catching him the whole time. Gate Rover is inarguably the best at it. Gate Rover will just go half the time. Gate Rover just drives himself. He just goes. He follows the train and he's like, did you see my question on why the Origin tends to lift the passenger front? I haven't noticed that at any time of driving it. Stick a camera on your hat on Tuesday and make that a member vid. Don't even need to talk. some of y'all's money, Mr. Turner's money and Miata Commuter's money, next month, I have not gotten an examination for mis ojos since 2018 was the last time I got an eye exam. I am going to get an eye exam, and I'm going to order, I'm going to make an effort, if my prescription will fit, I'm going to get some of those stupid Ray-Ban glasses. Either the Ray-Bans or the Oakleys. And then I can do that. I just honestly need a new pair of glasses. My glasses are, like, can we even see through this? This is what I have to see through every day. They're barely functional. Any reason you're against 3D printed for trailing, or is it silicon just cheap and easier? 3D printing, in general, will get water in there, and it doesn't come back out. Like, it gets inside. Someone actually, I have a little bit of behind this. A guy, I was talking about the silicones, and a guy said, further defense of silicones, he said, when you drive in the winter, your 3D printed, if it's cold enough outside, your 3D printed inserts can freeze, and they get solid as a rock. And he said silicones, as one would expect, because, you know, they make things like oven mitts and baking trays out of them, they don't care about temperature at all. And I was like, I never thought about that, because it doesn't get cold here. And it might never get cold here again. This was really rotated. Typically, when I work on any of these guys, except the twins, who are pretty good at this, I just take the gearbox all the way out. I don't think it's in the right. Can somebody explain to me why Yokomo did the thing all those years ago where they put 4 motor screw holes in the end bell instead of just 2? Because no matter what you do, or no matter how hard you try, do not take this any way other than the 2 ways that I intended. You will find the wrong hole. And I just did that, and I couldn't get the mesh to set. Wrong hole, fool. There it is. There it is. That was too much crouching. Also, 3D printed inserts, they tend to break down a little bit. Silicones also break down as well. Bruce is already on his 2nd set of inserts. I'm in talks with the 3D print man, the US Revolt man, to get inserts made, tailor-made inserts specifically for trepidors. Because as I'm trying to get everyone in the world to throw money hand over fist into the pit shaped like an FMS FJ40, we're going to need a way for those people to get inserts for those tires that don't involve cutting up multiple silicones and gluing them back together. That depends on the filament. I bet it does. Not venting your tires saves you from the entire water issue aside from condensation. It's still going to happen. Also, I desperately wanted to do it. So I had this. Goes with me pretty much everywhere, right? Let me get another bottle so I don't have to take that one out. So when that bottle came down from Big Bear, that bottle looked like this. And then you get out and you do this. And it pops back to shape. That's exactly what an unvented tire will do when you take it from 1,000 feet to 7,000 feet and then back down. So where I drive, in the conditions which I operate, I'm not venting tires. All tires vented always. Because performance-wise, no argument can be made that performance is not hindered by not venting them, because any tire, regardless of what its application is, regardless of the composition of said tire, if it has an insert in it, that tire is by its very nature semi-pneumatic, meaning it is relying on the air inside of the tire in order to operate. The foam is helping. It is adding stiffness, both laterally and vertically, but the air needs to change. You need to be able to change the volume of air in the tire because this is a dynamic toroid. If you do this tire now has less air in it than this tire does. And if you don't enable it to do that, then now there is greater pressure here and here and less pressure here and here. Unvented, performance-wise, will always be negative. Your insert, you will have to tune the insert effectively to the fact that the air pressure is not changing, and this won't change the fact that the tire is still at the mercy of the atmosphere. How's the image stabilization on the Ray-Bans? We're going to find out. Although I've seen a lot of videos from those guys, it seems pretty good.
Oh, you're actually going to get metas?
Custom Canyon 2-stage for trailing. Can you make it work in the Treps? Now, see, I have thought about this. Silicone outer with a solid inner, that would work equally well.
That's a lot of carbon.
It is also, I think Hizzy has summed it up perfectly right. Talking in absolutes is foolish. And unless this situation is absolute, it does not matter. Unless that tire is not specifically designed to be semi-pneumatic. Everyone here understands. I don't think I'm telling anyone anything that they don't know. When I say that foam, bear with me here, mostly air inside the foam. Voids and solids. The ratio of void to solid determines how squishy that foam is. That amount of foam, that amount of air needs to be able to change. It needs to be able to change. I'm not saying that if you run your tires unvented, you've destroyed your chance of victory. I'm saying that there's an exchange. You have performance and you have convenience, and you're going to meet somewhere in the middle. The convenience is, well, I don't have to worry about a bunch of water getting in my tires and stuff like that. You do have to worry about them coming down from the mountains looking like this. And you do have to worry about if anything does get in them, that stuff ain't getting out. Because it's going to get in there. Can you do it dumb and make an insert out of great stuff? Fill them wet and try to crawl as it expands? Oof.
That's really time limited.
Had a guy at a comp in the mountains run on deflated tires. The comp was around 11,000 and Denver's at 5,300. Best way to vent tires without a hole punch? Yeah, soldering iron.
Stab a screwdriver through it?
Yeah, soldering iron will kind of melt a hole through. Stabbing a screwdriver in tends to leave a really jagged hole through it. I'm always the leather punch, always the leather punch guy. How about using blue silicones as an inner ring and foam as the third layer outside the end insert? Because I'm operating from a Bruce perspective. Bruce will crush any foam into oblivion. Sheila will as well. And if my wife is around, oh, you know we're driving into water. What did he say?
The foam becomes stinky over time?
Oh, one time.
Yeah.
One time. You drive in a river one time with a single stage foam, and it's going to stink. It's going to smell real bad. So, there are other things may have happened. I couldn't get enough of the burgundy. So this is burgundy and rum punch, which when I first started it and I started putting them together, I was like, oh, maybe it doesn't work, but you know what it does. And there's that guy. They wouldn't crush the foam if it was non-vented. 16 pounds, man. Bruce will touch that beadlock ring to the ground. So underneath this is J Concept's grandpa. It's pretty good, right? It's pretty good. Underneath, what do you got? Ooh. What does this do? Oh. I grant this the award of second easiest to set gear mesh that there is. The number one will forever be the Stealth XF, because the motor plate, you mount it in your hand. You set it in your hand. This guy, there's a little screw right here, and you go, beep. Put a little loosener on that. You reach down here, you grab this little guy, and you swing this up. There's a little door to look in there and see what your gear mesh looks like. And then you flap the little door back down, and there's a motor now stuck to your screwdriver, so it's extraordinarily heavy. Tighten this back down. I'll give you guys the real deal. Hopefully you'll still watch the episode. Maybe I'll spoil it for like 100 and some of you. If you are at all considering purchasing a Wizard 4L when it comes out, or getting the conversion and doing this, getting the wild cherry, or as we call it, the cherry bomb, and putting your cherry bomb in there, if you're not going to put a Fusion Elite in there, don't do it at all. There's no, well, I can't say there's absolutely no perceived advantage. The video is up this weekend. I do Wizard versus Wizard. It's a kind of a long one because we go through the whole install process and everything. The Lightweight Always guy will be happy to know that. Why does my spotlight search up? The Lightweight Always guy will be happy to know that swapping to motor on transmission drops the weight of the rig about 100 grams. So it is lighter weight. And I mean, look where everything's located. And it drives great. It really does. But try to tell me that their intention was not for you to put an Elite in it. You could cut it. You could cut the tray up here, and maybe get a Pro in there. But an Elite, removing the Outrunner, removing all of the other stuff, you are still way lighter. Any idea if this will still be close to 500? They haven't said. I would honestly not be surprised if this one came out a little bit more expensive, because they sell the SOA bracket by itself for like $40. And then they sell the gearbox by itself for like $130. So I could see maybe CMS Wizard coming back at $500, and I could see MOT Wizard at like $600 maybe. Did I see an MSD? I got my MSD CFX back and looking to upgrade. How is Blue Sky High these days? Blue Sky High was once an MST CFXW and now has effectively no MST parts. Does this have the high angle steering?
Don't forget to point out the axle swap.
And it's mullet now. So yeah, there'll be a video. It hasn't been videoed like this yet, but it will be. It's definite. It's 100% on the whiteboard. But once I started trying to fit the body, I was like, that's the one. And now it's Sneaky Wizard, because outside of the wheels, no one would know that it's a wizard. This one is the blind guys, but you know, like he's gonna take it home. One day he's gonna gather them all up and. Did it come mullet, or does it still come with all the axles? So the kit comes with the stuff to build it as a straight axle or as a portal. To build it as a mullet, you need the long hubs for the front or the short hubs for the rear. Am I done with the rig breakdowns? Yeah, basically. Because they got no views. Nobody was watching rig breakdowns. One of the rig breakdowns has less than 500 views on it. And it was uploaded several months ago. It is one of the lowest viewed videos in the last 6 months. So, yeah, nobody cares.
Fair enough. Come by the canyon.
Yeah, if you, yeah. I don't know. You know, I want to make the videos that I want to make, but at the same time,
They gotta get the views.
somebody has to watch it, you know. I'm gonna solder this. I'm gonna solder these power leads on, and then I'm gonna get it backwards. I think this guy was wired reversed, and it will take only a minute to undo. So, because I left his leads a little long, that should be all right. Was that the grandpa? Yeah. This Atlas is super loud. Gear mesh too tight? Probably. What needs to be done if I get an AR-44 portal for the rear? Reverse. You're going to want a reverse rotating gear. And my advice is, because if it's if it's axial portal gearing, either try to get your hands on some fairly big overdrive portal gears to put in the rear to cut it down, and or run the reverse gear in the front, and then you can run like an 824 gear in the rear to again cut down, because the portals have 1.92 to 1 reduction. So a portal axle in stock configuration. So like if it was an AR-45 portal, AR-45P, it would be 7.2 to 1 final, and your front axle is 3.75. So that is 48% underdrive. You're going to want to whittle that down a little bit. Like if you just run an 830 in the front, 830 reverse in the front, and an 824 in the rear, that'll take you down to about 28%. And then you could go to, instead of 1223s, you could go to like 1322s, maybe 1421s in the portal gears. You can really manipulate the gear ratios because you're using axial axles. Imagining a mullet 8x8, what'd be the point? There wouldn't. Yeah. Because you can, in anything multi-axle, right? If you are 6x6, 8x8, you don't have to worry about the rear end lifting the front end off the ground. Like Jolly Green never, you would have to try as hard as you could to doodlebug Jolly Green over. For me, Green Warrior asked 25% is the sweet spot. 18 to 22% is the excellent all-round. I know 20% is right in the middle of that. We'll call it 18 to 22% is right there, because once you get up above that, tires like this, they don't work anymore. Any tire with a lot of chevron or a lot of directionality does not seem to, so basically OTS at KLRs stop working as well. Any tire with a lot of directionality does not like big underdrive overdrive splits, because the front end can't find the traction to pull that rear end around. I've started to embrace in a lot of recent builds, particularly in the 1.5 stuff, none. These are element axles with a 3 gear in the middle. He runs no overdrive, no underdrive. The Comanche guy, the highlighter yellow guy, same story. Element axles at the ends with a ultralight in the middle, 0-0. Do bounty hunters like ODUD? They don't mind so much because they are very non-directional, right? And because they're so tight-lugged, they can slide a little bit. You take a tire like this and you put big split on it, That rear turning slow is literally like dragging an anchor. The front end cannot pull the rear end. So you can go bigger numbers, but the number of tires we should have like the double overlap. There's got to be a horsepower torque curve line. As the underdrive and or overdrive, as the torque split goes up, the number of tires that you can run goes down. So this is why does everybody run megalithics on everything? Because megalithics don't care. Megalithics ain't care. You can run whatever overdrive or underdrive you want. Oh, wait, I know what I said. I need to just make sure that motor is soldered on the correct direction. And while I appreciate that Radio Link will do the swap thing where you can update from a V2 to a V3, you save less than $20 and you have to get the radio shipped from China. Just buy it on Amazon, man. Oh. There it goes again. Nope. I gotta rotate it a little more. This is the one that failed, and I hammered it back together. That's a shame. That's a shame. This is the only Mias drive shaft I've had. Oh, that's gear mesh. Yeah, that's meshed real. That's real tight on the mesh. I can correct that when I forget. When I forget, and then I go to take it out to do a tire test, and when I set him down to run him, he goes, and then I loosen all the screws and I go at it. Okay, I gotta hang this guy back up because he was sitting on top of the TI Fury box. You don't understand. The TI Fury box has been here for like 4 or 5 days, and I haven't been able to open it. Yeah, so that rear drive shaft is failed. I got some Jenny's takeoff axial shafts. I'm going to go through the bins. And I'm going to I'll just put plastic drive shafts on them. Because that sounds terrible. And that pin is going to fall out the rest of the way. And, these things happen. Yeah, the gear mesh, there is just, the pinion is full depth into the spur. That's on me. I did that. We'll correct it later, though. There's time. There's time in the day. Put a Post-it on it, what needs to be fixed. By the time I go and I find the Post-its, I'll have forgotten what I'm supposed to write on the Post-it. It's Camel Spirit tape. It says Camel Spirit on it. Okay. Either I haven't been paying close enough attention, or a bunch of screws fell out of this box when I cut it open. Maybe I set the box on screws? I don't know. But like 5 M3x10 screws just fell out. It looks like it's just coming out as one cohesive unit. Okay, well, no, there's the battery tray, so maybe everything. Nope, they fell out of the box. They definitely fell out of the box. Free screws. So I ordered some little extra stuff. I don't know if they stuck it in here. There's our skid. It looked 3D printed on the internet. That is definitely machined Delrin. Links. This thing as well. Some hoops. It just says 110. Oh, these are front shock hoops. These two little guys. Don't know. I think these are the little tabbies that hold the fenders on. We've got, I think this is the springy winch, the winchy guy, springy winchy guy. We've got the bag of, oh, I didn't know those parts were metal. Sweet. We've got the back of the cage bit. Everything in the individual bags. Delrin is a man's best friend. Look at these guys. Yeah, he's well darn bad. He's well darn bad. It's all right. It's all right. I'm on board. I think I still had a tab open. I thought I still had the tab open to where we ordered it from. We're saving the, oh, holy crap! Okay, I wanted to order a part for myself because if you've seen any of the videos of the Rainforest Challenge, those dudes love winches. They love the winching. They might love the winching more than they love the driving. You got that 25 feet of a winch line. So I ordered the land anchor because they're like, it's titanium. Oh, what are we doing? That's crazy.
What is it, 6 scale?
This is not a land anchor for looks. Chassis rails.
That's a fucking excavator.
Chassis rails. I got myself a second one of the winch springy guy because I'm going to put it on Bruce. Bruce gets that. There is the hood for the 82 pickup. Here is what everybody's been waiting to see. Obviously, the RC four-wheel drive Toyota cab. There's the cab. And then there's the EXO. Yeah, it looks all right. I'm on board. And man, I tell you what, there's a reason that when you order stuff from places, you pay that premium for titanium. Why do I keep this scale on the top, the one that I have to push the button 18 times to turn the scale on? 260. 260 grams for the EXO, which is 0.58 pounds. That is not bad for the full EXO. Let's here's the thing. We joked about this before. We were like, the shipping was like $150 on AliExpress. If you order it from D1RC, oh, I can screen share. I can screen share. Oh my god. I don't know where it's going to open this window if I'm going to lose chat here for a second. Oh boy, Opera updated? You don't say. So, go back to here, go back to here. Okay. So if you go over to D1RCXRCRFC.com, that's fun. Oh, the price has crept up about $10 since I ordered mine. It will change everything into, oh, look at the eye. Watch the eye. It was like people viewing this right now, and it went like 26, 28, 30, 31 as everybody's clicking out to see it. So the RC Rainforest Challenge competition kit, it started at about, there's that big anchor. And I was like, I want to throw one of those on there. Shipping for me was $65. Was $65 American. For me, after the duty, after the duty and the kit, and I did not get the premium. I got the standard, which has the body and the rails and the skid and all that stuff. And the premium package comes with a titanium gearbox and titanium shafts and the big old super winch. I got the standard. Where are all the more pictures? Oh, they're right here. So this is there's what you get in the standard. I could have sworn I didn't know those were metal. I thought those were plastic over there. It was right at $400 with the shipping. There's the stuff that you get in the premium. They run full-blown outrunners on their winches. There's one that's got a good pic of it. Yeah, see, that's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. They run full-blown outrunners on their winches, and someone was joking on the Discord that they run like 25 feet of winch line. I don't think that is an underestimate. Like, when I say these dudes love winching, these dudes love winching. So it'll be fun and interesting to see how much fun modification need be done to shoehorn this thing in here. Like, Stanley sends you a bunch of links of like what need be done and whatnot. And I haven't watched any of it. So I will get, we'll do a whole thing on it. We'll start putting it together. I guess it just, yeah, I mean, I guess that's right. Yeah, that thing just is. Oh, I think that's what that's for. I guess it is that big. I'll be doing a winch. Got to cut the radiator out. I would imagine so. Yeah. When you say they run outrunners on their winches, do you mean they use an outrunner? Yeah. Like a full. Let me see if I'll find the picture. It's easier if I'm looking directly at it. One of the pictures, you can see the full winch. Now I feel like I've gone crazy because I can't find it. I can't find it. Yeah. It was probably not on this website. Yeah, it's got like a, what do they call it? 2208? 2204? Yeah. And when they're paying that winch line out, there's a guy running with it. So the feed out speed is not to be, you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, so we'll get a hard body and all of the stuff. You know what it's going to be? It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I watched a video of like I think it might have been the 2024 RC Rainforest Challenge. It's a lot of winching. It's a lot of winching. And they got me again. Let me open another tab for you so that I can illustrate how they got me again. Because the very next morning, I didn't even make it a day. Oh, there's the email from Stanley. Good. Now I gotta find it. It's sold. Oh. Who remembers? It's the place in Alabama. What is the what's the place in Alabama? With the Bronco. Why can't I remember the name of it? No, that was the one in that was the one in Malaysia. How about that one? The D1 RC Baja 1000. Okay, I can't find the website that I ordered from accidentally. It was not my intention to order. I ordered it accidentally. But we can bring up a terrible AliExpress link. So this is for TRX4. All those pop-ups are fresh. Like they weren't there. Okay, so this is basically a conversion for TRX4. It's a titanium cage, and then it also comes with the body. The pictures are much better on the other website. And this is what is going to get, and it comes with all of the LEDs too. There's like it's festooned with LEDs. And there's basically what comes in a little kit, right? So this is what is going to happen to Ironsides. Ironsides is going to be undefendered, and he's going to be turned into this. Because I feel like he's the perfect guy for this, as he's, yes, it was 100% accident. I got scammed. That's what it was. I had no intention of ordering it, and then it happened. Because we just put AliExpress, only $10. Because I just put a Fusion 8 in Ironsides, and he's already got a 2-speed. That's a Bronco R, that racing Bronco, the Baja Bronco. So he's kind of he's basically a stock TRX4. So he'll be great. He'll be a great recipient, I think, for this. So, you know what? While it's fresh in my brain.
My question is, why on the shot grease do they not put how much is in the little container?
Because they don't want you to know. Because you'll be like, that much for that?
I know it's like 8 grams or something.
Yeah, when you find out you're buying 3 milliliters. Someone who's getting into cage vehicles lately? Well, because I don't have any.
Well, now, my question is also, why do they put the cage on the outside? Because they can't fit it on the inside?
It's called an exo cage.
Yeah, but I don't see the point of an exo cage when you can endo cage it.
Because in the real world, you exo cage it, so when you roll it, you don't destroy the whole vehicle. That's literally why they exo cage them. That's why they are exo caged. Now the Bronco is endo caged. The cage is on the inside. But the TI Fury, like, why would you want to hide all that delicious titanium? Yeah, see, when I pull that pin out, we know the sound is not coming from the rear axle. Someone hooked me up with a TIG welder. I barely know how to weld. I am not a welder.
It's difficult. I know a welder.
It did it once before, and I tapped it back in with the toy hammer, and it came right back out again. Came right back out again. Probably won't need that washer, because you know what? Could it be? It's one thing too long. We suck again. And all of those are disassembled. What have I actually got? I should bring the small one out here one day and just let them tear some off. That kid burps like they're full of demons. It makes no sense. I keep telling them that they're using air wrong, but the air is supposed to go into the breathy part. TIG welding is the woodworking of welding. Oh, don't say that.
You gotta stack your dimes.
But there is no rain or forests near you. This is true.
Oh, there are forests near us.
But apparently the U.S. chapter of it is in Texas. And while they have rain, from what I understand, they don't have a lot in the way of forests. So,
Not that I'm aware of.
so they're cheating as well. I know they got wild hogs there. I know that.
In abundance.
That's a thing I know about Texas, or I think I know. That's a thing I think I know about Texas.
A bunch of cowboy hats.
They got cowboy hats and big belt buckles and hogs.
Lots of hogs.
Lots of hogs. Was that a C-clip Mias drive shaft? Unfortunately, it is not. I would have ordered a set of the D1 RC shocks as well, but the Rainforest Fury is built for 90s, and they don't sell a 90. Do they ship the Rainforest kit to the UK? I'm sure they would. If they'll ship it to the US, I'm sure they'll ship it to the UK. Because we are now, thanks to our current condition, we're the place nobody wants to send anything to because it costs too much.
You get turfed.
He's blind, give him a break. No!
No one gives me breaks.
Do they drive bigger scale rigs in Texas? I assume you can only buy SCX6s in Texas. I haven't gotten this confirmed, but that would be my assumption. It's large scale only. Oh, we also, what do we remember? We remember the Alamo. And we also remember Don't Mess with Texas. Oh! It won't zoom in enough to see this. I didn't tighten that upper screw down at all. So the first time we hit torque, it just rocked the motor straight into the spur gear. So it's basically as tight as it can go. That is a thing that I do and have done and will do again. Uh-oh. Mr. Hurley just said there's only 2 things that come from Texas. And I believe I remember how that goes. And it ends with, and you ain't got no horns, boy. That's what I remember. I know what they don't have in Texas is hills. No, they don't. It's flat as a pancake. There used to be glaciers that came all the way down there. When the sister-in-law was riding bikes, doing those baby triathlons, they would do a 40-mile bike ride, and it would have like 130 feet of elevation change in it. And I was like, girlfriend, I have 130 feet of elevation change to the ride to the end of my street. Yeah. It is flat. This gear mesh is fighting me.
Put a bigger pinion in.
Tooth and nail. I should have, honest to God. I should have done the old trick. That's the pro trick. If you don't know the pro tip, I'll hand out every time I tighten the second screw down,
it moves.
It backs it off. Pro tip. If you know what size pinion you run, if you want to run a 14, get a 15 and crank that thing down tight. Then remove the 15, install the 14, and you'll have pretty much perfect gear mesh. Every time. That's all the way off now. I think I'm in opposite holes. I'm in crisscross holes on the motor mount, which is why I can either get ultra tight or I can't. It's basically not meshing the gear now. I should have just taken the damn gearbox out when I started. Hindsight, indeed. 2020. Yeah, that gear mesh was full tight. That pinion was buried. And now, when I think I have it, I'm going to tighten this bottom down. It's going to pull the teeth completely apart. Yeah, they're not even touching. Well, yeah, Florida is flat. But Florida has moving hills. They have wind. They have tremendous wind that just blows all the time. And wind is the hill without conscience. Because it will get, hey, look at that. It will give you no relief. Like when you ride up and down a hill, you get to go down. The wind will just switch. It will blow in your face, and then when you turn around to go the other way, the wind will reverse and blow the other way. Wind has no soul, and it desires only destruction. Yeah, a guy on the bike forums, back when I was on the bike forums, posted a ride. He lives down in the Keys area, and he did a bike ride that was 70 miles. And at the end of his 70 miles, Strava had him at 0 feet of elevation. He had never gone up nor down. And I was like, that is the most foreign thing I've ever seen. Like, this is California.
What, 200-300-foot hill at the end of your street?
You are either going up or you are going down. If I ride that way, which is northeast, I can gain 750 feet of elevation in 3 miles. Do not recommend. Too short. Too short. Too short is what it is. Just when you think that you've managed to solve it, comes back around and undoes your deeds. Okay, I get it. Ooh! All right, there. Yeah. If the wind blows against you the same way all day and you ride a loop, the wind is against you 70% of the time. Yes, sir. And we have it better. We live in a valley that's shaped like this. This is the valley. Here's Mount San Gorgonio right over here. Right over here, Pacific Ocean, mountains. The wind, onshore flow, will come out, and you're riding west. The wind is directly in your face. There's also a valley, right? There's Pigeon Pass right here. So the ocean is also over here. You turn this way to go south, wind right in your face. You turn to go this way, and now you're on the other side of the valley. So you would think the wind is blowing here and it's also blowing here. No, it's blowing here and wrapping around like this and also hitting you in the face. So you don't even get tailwind when coming down. You only get the advantage of going downhill. So you genuinely feel like you're riding into the wind all the time. It's great. I recommend it. Is this too short? Yes. We're gonna, you know what? It's gonna work. I will have spent far too long working on this. My God. I always told everyone we were in Colorado, she fed us kids Miracle Grow, and the rain here in Louisiana made us grow as big as we were 6'5". I have to say, your experience may be different, but if there's a thing that I'm thankful for, and I genuinely believe, hey, Mo Trapper, he's on his way. Thanks for being here. You know what? We start rough, we finish strong. That's how we do. I'm glad I stopped at 6'2". I was supposed to be taller because I'm a freak. Does anyone in here know your ape index off the top of your head? Do you know your ape index? Or is this a thing that only tall people find out? Yeah, what is your wingspan relative to your height? So typically, across the thing, most people, okay, my what? Ape index. What you do is it helps to have another person. You will either go face first or with your back against a wall, and you will extend your arms out straight to both sides, and someone is going to measure from there to there your wingspan, and then they're going to measure your height. And your ape index will be plus or minus or 0. And that will be, say you are, we'll have to do this in centimeters. Let's say you are 180 centimeters tall, which is a nice even number. If you're 180 centimeters tall, your wingspan is probably going to be around 180 centimeters for the average person. Now, as you get taller, that ape index can kind of go one way or another. And if you happen to have they're double X, right? The ladies. If you happen to be a female, that can be shorter because we often call them T-Rexes. You know, they got the short arms. So you might be in inches back here in America, you might be -1 or -2 on ape index. I am 6'2" tall, which in the smaller units is 74 inches in height. I don't know exactly what that is in centimeters off the top of my head. It's like 180 something, 187, 186, 188. It's something like that, right? From fingertip to fingertip, I am 79 inches. My ape index is +5. And I definitely believe that had my mother not partaken in particular things, 188. I am 188. Oh, no, that's too long. I am 188 centimeters tall, and I genuinely believe in my heart of hearts that had my mother not partaken in certain things in which she partook during my gestation, I believe I was probably supposed to be about 6'4", 6'5". What's your standing reach? Like arms straight out? How close are you to Vitruvian Man? I'm a freak, baby. I'm a freak. And I learned this when I did my bike fit. Because when you do a bike fit, you've got the knobby protuberance. It's easier to see over here. You get the knobby protuberance on there. You measure from there to the bone of your elbow. And then you measure from the bone of your elbow to that bone that's right where your collarbone, where the outside of your collarbone goes towards your shoulder. You measure from there to there, and you measure from there to there. On me, this measurement and this measurement are the same measurement. So my upper arm and my bottom arm are the same length. And the same goes for my legs. From knee to ankle and from knee to hip are the same length. I'm weirdly proportionate. So, just weird. Just weird. What are you gonna do? You're either weird or you're not weird. And I'm kind of weird. So, and then I have, 5'8" with a 5'10" span. +2 is kind of like, that's not atypical for males. Just like about a -1 is not atypical for females. I don't know what it ultimately means. I just know that it makes buying sweatshirts and long sleeve shirts real tough. Because, yeah, there we go. You've got there's the bone on the back of your shoulder blade. I'm trying to find it. You can kind of find that little protuberance on the back of your shoulder blade, which is where your arm technically starts. Well, see, if I do this, right, you can't even see my upper arm. And from there to there, my arm, I wear a shirt with a 35-inch sleeve, which from what I understand is pretty long. And the problem is, see Doran, just like me, built like a freak. You must have a hard time buying dress shirts.
Keep it in the circus, you two.
Because I don't have a neck. I don't have a neck nor a chest measurement of someone with arms this long. So I put that dress shirt on, and the middle of it looks like I've lost 200 pounds, and then I stick my arms out straight, and the sleeves go. So, there you go. I used to think that I had long legs. And then, 6'3" with a 6'6" wingspan. Yeah. That knocking sound, did anybody pick up the knocking sound? That was the drive shaft whacking away at the battery. We believe here only in safety. Okay, at full compression, there's that much. Oh, actually that works. There's a drive shaft's worth. I can't do it. I think I have one rig here. That runs a metal drive shaft on one end and a plastic drive shaft on the other. How's my sewing game? Terrible. I've seen Mr. C and he's built perfect. Aw, shucks. I know that's an outright lie. You know what I was thinking about last week? I was down like on Thursday, and I was thinking, I know, dangerous, but sometimes it happens. I was thinking, and again, we go back, we're on the bike. I'm going to have to paint a broader picture for you because most of you have never been here, okay? San Bernardino, much of San Bernardino, or as we locals will often call it, San Bernardino, there are parts of it that are not so nice. And there's a particular street that runs east to west through kind of the heart of San Bernardino, and it's called Waterman Avenue. Basically, north to south Waterman. And then we've got, what street was I on? I was on 5th Street, old Route 66. So I'm crossing 5th Street and Waterman Avenue, which doesn't mean anything to you. This is right by a park called Succumby Park. They drain that park annually and find at least one dead body in it. And a bunch of guns and discarded knives in it. So I am at the intersection waiting for the light at 5th and Waterman Avenue. And a lady, I will refer to her from heretofore as a lady, is standing on the sidewalk beside me while I stand astride my bicycle waiting for the light to turn green. And she's looking at me, and I do what a person does. I turn and I look at her. And she is equipped with about 25% of the teeth that she was given at birth. I would say 25%. They were relatively evenly distributed. And she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and she says to me, without missing a beat, she looks straight in my face, and she said, "Man, you is beautiful." And you know what? The source doesn't matter. I don't know her story. If someone tells you you're beautiful, you hold on to that. You know it's objectively not true. But I held on to it anyway. I said, every once in a while, when you're feeling low, if what is probably a homeless woman, is this a lady of the night? No, this was at like 9:30 in the morning.
This was a lady of the day.
This was a lady of the day. She may have been more attractive in the night, but also on that very same street, but I was heading the other direction on 5th Street. I was traveling down, and there are a number of motels, and you know what I mean, right? They're near the freeway. They are motels. And there was another lady, we will call her a lady. She was wearing something approximating leggings, and they were in an animal print. I'd like to say leopard. And she was also wearing what they call a halter top or a half top. And she was walking the same direction that I was riding. And as I slowed to stop for yet another red light, as I slowed, I noticed that in that region that they call immediately above the belt line, the lower back area, she had tattooed the Nike swoosh and then the famous catchphrase, "Just do it." And I thought, I wonder, on that morning, when she decided that was the avenue she was going to go down, I wonder what led to that, right? I bet it was interesting, to say the least. That's a stamp if I've ever heard of one. Oh, lady, you classy. These are just San Bernardino things. That's my hometown. That's the city I grew up in. Did Stephen Turner just do it on the 10? No, you. Stephen Turner is a purveyor of the sawtooth. I work on Colfax in Denver, and some of the stuff I've seen from my shop I will never be able to forget. I'll hit you with another one. It's not San Bernardino, though, but I think it applies. Because I felt like we went to Arizona. We went to Arizona to watch a spring training game. And this was a couple of years ago. Me and the wife and the kids. We went to Mesa, Arizona, where the spring training takes place. And we went and saw a game at the Cubs spring training area down there. I cannot, my brain has rejected the name of the little stadium. But when we went to the stadium the first day and we watched the game, Cubs won. Anthony Rizzo hit a home run. So you know it was a couple years ago because Rizzo was still a Cub. And on the way there, I noticed that there looked to be some kind of a trail because there's a canal. There's a canal that runs down through Mesa, Arizona. So I thought, oh, I'll get up early. And before we go to head out tomorrow for our other destination, I will go ride my bicicleta down that canal, and I'll ride over and I'll take a picture of my bicycle next to the stadium, and then I'll ride back here and we'll load up the car and we'll head to the Grand Canyon because that was the plan. That is indeed, in fact, what we did. And on my way down there, not by choice, while riding, mind you, this is 6 o'clock in the morning on mi bicicleta. On the path down by the canal, out the corner of my eye in the distance, now I will paint a picture. Imagine a canal, man-made. It's got water in it. Water's running. And on either side of it, we have a groomed dirt with cinder block walls on both sides. And the dirt is probably 3 to 4 meters wide. Say 10 to 12 feet wide dirt, then about 20 feet of water, 10 to 12 feet of dirt. You can see for some great distance because canals are on fairly flat land. You probably only gain 10 feet of elevation riding the whole length of it up to where the stadium is. And out of my right eye, I see motion, and the sun is not fully up yet. It's still a little bit dark. And I'm riding along and I see a shape. And there's nothing, mind you. It is flat dirt, cinder block wall, kind of brown, another shade of brown, blue water, going up. Off in the distance, way over here, I see something. And as I get closer, and I'm moving along at a fair clip as it's pretty flat, I'm doing about 18, 19 miles an hour at this time, whatever that is in kilometers. And as I draw closer, I notice that upon approaching, it is a prone man. He is lying prone. He is face up. He is flat on his back on the ground. He is wearing neither shoes, nor socks, nor pants. And seated atop him in a position which we have a colloquial name for here in the United States is what we will call a young lady. She is sitting astride him as he is prone, face up. And they are participating in activities at 6 o'clock in the morning in April. It was probably maybe a high 50s, low 60s in temperature. And I thought, that's not something that you see every day. And they were making no attempts to cover or conceal in any way. In fact, they would have been hard-pressed to find a more exposed location without ambling down the canal a little way and just going right into the middle of an intersection in the street. It was genuinely kind of impressive because That, ladies and gentlemen, is what no social anxiety looks like. You truly, a lot of people, you know what people will bandy about? People will be like, I don't care. No.
You do.
No, you do. You know what they don't? They don't care. They do not care. Caring is not a thing that they do. It's honestly, it's kind of impressive. I mean, I felt embarrassed because I saw it.
Well, you were riding by their bedroom.
I was riding by their bedroom. This is really, if we're being honest about it, this is partially my fault. I should have gone somewhere else. Okay, so that's what I need. But I think I need to grind a rinder. I've seen a similar situation directly behind my shop. Gotta go. The 3-year-old nearly killed me today. You can't just leave on that. How did they try to kill you? Never visited by the shame lizard. Water makes some people get that way sometimes.
Well, that's why Venice is so...
That's why Venice is so romantical. They're like, man, all this water. You know what we should do? And the other guy looks at her and he's like, it? And she's like, yes. If there's a thing that we should do right now, it's it. Good. You know, good times were had by some. I literally don't even know anymore if you guys are messing with me or just asking normal questions. They pull bodies from those canals too. Oh, I bet. I haven't been to a baseball game since Mookie Betts was playing for Boston. Don't get me started on the Dodgers. Come on. We're doing great.
Apparently he came from Boston.
I came across the same thing playing pitch and putt. Put me off my stroke, but not him. But don't. That's rim shot stuff all the way. I mean, I don't know. Jealous, I guess. He asked if we ride trains in Spain. I don't know. Do you ride trains in Spain? Does the rain fall mostly on the plane? Look, I think we could make an argument that none of us know anything about Spain.
Yes, I have never been to Spain.
I have never been to Spain. I will never be to Spain.
You don't want to go to Ibiza?
I'm sorry. Did you say Ibiza?
Yes.
Do you want to go to Ibiza? The plane falls mostly on the train. That'd actually be pretty tough. My brain is slow enough already. Don't start messing me with things that have a billion meanings. Billions of meanings. Billion. Yeah, where is that soggy plain where the rain mostly falls? In Spain. Billions. I think I've already shortened this one. How do I only have... The next step down is way too short. I've definitely cut that one. I think this is why I didn't have an element one on here.
Possible?
It's possible. Because I got to do cutting. Yeah, I got to cut it a bunch. Maybe.
Did the drive shaft that was on it disassemble?
Well, it's corrosion of confidence. They are definitely effing with you, yeah. Didn't Spain have horrible flooding last year because the current generation just forgot where the rain mostly falls? That sounds accurate. That sounds accurate. I love your pronunciation. What of Ibiza? We're going to Ibiza. Look, everything we know comes from the TV, and my pronunciation...
The smart box.
Habla español. Is only because I can tell that it amuses / irritates my mother-in-law. So I will deliberately either underpronounce or overpronounce any word that is remotely Spanish. And it's only Spanish that I do it with because, like, if it's French, go to dictionary.com, look it up. Croissant. It's croissant because that's how we say it in America. America. We say croissant. We don't say croissant because what? Go ask a French person to say Netflix. That's all I'm saying. Netflix. It's good times. It's good times. So, croissant. Zut alors. Croissant. It's just funny. It's so. In for just a minute. Did we unbox the D1RC?
Wow.
Yes, we did. It's in this bag. You can see it. See, there it is.
The bag is clear.
The bag is clear. You can see. Merde. Oh, see, that is okay. One of my neck lifts. One of my favorite videos about France is about pain au chocolat. Now, cyclists love pain au chocolat, right? They love a chocolate croissant, right? Or, as it's apparently called in other parts of France, a chocolatine. And if you are from the part of France that calls it a chocolatine, and you go to the part where they call it pain au chocolat, and you call it a chocolatine, they will throw things at you. And I love that about the French. I love it about the French that they hate everybody so much that they hate other French people. They're like, you don't say French the way I say French, therefore you are dirty French, and I am not dirty French. It's great. It's great. The French. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put these two together right like this, because it's going to take me 5 minutes on the sander to do this. And honestly, I don't want to do it right now because I'm not even at the halfway point. And we'll put it where the battery goes so I can't avoid it. Watch, I open the drawer and there's another Mia shaft in there that's the correct length. And then I just pack it in. I just drop everything and walk away. I'm not even a quarter of the way into what's on my sheet. You know what? I gotta do something. Pain au chocolat.
Well, I mean, with the live stream, you gotta, your chat box that you gotta constantly.
They sell like 12 packs of them at the Costco. Stupid Costco. I am but one man. I mean, if I devoted like my time and effort to it,
That's
I could.
You eat for breakfast every day.
Yeah, if I ate nothing but pain au chocolat. Don't we do that here? A Bostonian and a person from New Orleans could hardly understand each other. Yeah, but they'll just laugh about it. That Bostonian would be like, "You talk funny," and the other guy would be like, "Ho ho 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 ho," and they would laugh about it. The French guy actually hates the other French guy.
And we'll throw things at him. Get out of my restaurant.
Went to Canada in '92. Was told the French Canadian people wouldn't reply to you if you spoke English and not French. The French, man. I believe it. What's up with the growly parts of French? Oh, ho, ho. There's a content creator that she lives in France, and she does some great stuff about France. There's another one that does stuff about German, where people see her and they go, "She's not German," and then she speaks German, and they're like, "Whoa, whoa." I like German because they have all these phrases that are all like about sausage. Like all the phrases seem like, don't be a silly sausage. Don't spoil the sausage. Like all these phrases just come back around to sausage. And all of the comments on the YouTube video are like, no, I don't, wait a minute. Some German guy was like, I clicked on this to try to shoot it down. And then he goes, I realized I say all of those things.
All those things.
All of those things. We do that all the time. Has the blind guy watched the TV show Testes with Jeff Assel and Steve Markle?
Nope.
Is that a real thing?
Now you're just making stuff up.
Now you're just making stuff up. Went to Paris for for my honeymoon. My wife spoke a tiny bit of French, but I talked at the store at the Eiffel Tower, and the lady at the register started screaming at me because I didn't know French. Well, lately, the government haven't done their part with maintenance. That is the maintenance. It's close enough. And not one, not two, but 3 trains crashed in 1 week. Keep it, you know what? Keep it real, Spain. Keep it real. Don't. That's how you prove to them that you haven't gotten a big head. Oh, you're looking it up?
Well, no results. It does not exist.
Does not exist.
Even though IMDb claimed it did.
Oh. High-speed trains, by the way. Oh, that's fun. It's a real show about 2 close friends who are employed as guinea pigs for a pharmaceutical company. Each episode deals with the different research products given to the test subjects. I'd watch that. I was recommended by the guy who took AA batteries. I was recommended by that guy to watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners. The episodes of Cyberpunk Edge Runners are very short. If you're at all interested in watching Cyberpunk Edge Runners, you can watch the whole series, 10 episodes in one sitting, fairly easily. And here is my capsule review. Overrated. Overrated. It was fine. Some of the writing was very lazy. Visually, they do quite a lot with a fairly simplified art style. And, no spoilers, they are not afraid to kill people in that show. They are not afraid to kill people in that show. You start to feel when watching a lot of shows on the different medias that you're like, this guy is filled with plot armor, and we don't have to worry about this guy dying. Not on that show. They will kill anyone at any time, pretty much. It was good. Like, it wasn't bad. But the IMDb score for that show is up there with, like, properly good anime. Taking advice from AA Battery Guy. AA Battery Guy has watched a lot of anime. Maybe not as much as me, actually, but he's watched a lot more current anime than I have. Love, Death, and Robots. Here's my capsule review of Love, Death, and Robots. The first season of Love, Death, and Robots was phenomenal. And then with each successive season, at least to me, it got worse and worse and worse. Until the final season of it, I don't even think there was one episode during the final season that I liked at all. That mesh sounds like they ain't even met. That mesh sounds like it ain't meshing. So what we're on about here is we're gonna test a thing. This is straight from the whiteboard. I don't know if any of them are available on Netflix anymore, because Netflix is, constantly changing, like the shifting sands of the desert. But I've watched Waltz with Bashir and Triplets of Belleville, and there have been some really good.
Are those all anime?
Yeah, there've been just animated. There've been some really good animated that have come across Netflix, and then they keep them on there for like a month, and they move on to something else. My ADHD bands can't make it through a full season of anything. I'm telling you, you could watch all of Cyberpunk Edge Runners. The episodes come up being like 25 minutes long, but then if you take the opening credits, recap, and closing credits, I think the longest episode is probably 22 minutes long. Some of them I feel like come in around 18. I think it should have been made into a 2-part like movie miniseries thing, like about hour and 45 minutes each, and it would have covered it. It did not need to be broken up into pieces like that. Yeah, Mr. Scurvy is spot on. One Punch Man season 1, 12 short episodes. Don't watch season 2 and 3. Yeah, yeah, I learned that from the guy who got AA batteries. He said, "Have you ever watched One Punch Man?" I said, "Well, I watched the first season." He said, "Good, stop there." He said, season 2 tries to ruin it, and season 3 finishes ruining it.
Yeah, we're done with this show. We'll just wreck it. I know there was one on Netflix or something. I think it was White Lotus.
Blue-Eyed Samurai is really good.
It wasn't animated. Animation's for children.
Do you see what we're testing? Has anybody figured out what the upcoming test is going to be? I'm gonna be real silent about it. I'm not gonna tell anybody what it is.
Agency.
I'm gonna wait for him to figure it out. Season 3 has literally 2 punches. I mean, you would hope to get at least 1 punch per episode. Have you watched Pantheon yet? About uploading the human mind into a computer matrix. How many episodes are there? I finished The Wire, and I'm halfway through Landman Season 2. I need something to binge through.
Fucking Big Bang Theory.
Ugh, gross. No, I want to watch something good. Don't tell a guy who just watched The Wire to watch Big Bang Theory. You're compromising what little credibility you might have had.
Hey, it fills the void.
I just started season 2 of Mr. Mercedes. I think it was last year. I saw one YouTube clip of Mr. In Between and binged the whole series in 2 days.
Yeah, that's what happened when it was recommended by you demokes.
Oh, you watched Mr. In Between? How good is that? It's so good.
You would just want more.
You just want more.
You was like, no.
When it ended, you're like, no. So good. Der Tiger. German Fury type tank film with a twist. Ooh. I don't mind reading. Although I don't actively head to, yeah, the blind guy does mind reading. Ooh. We're going to get into, I watched 12 minutes of the new Star Trek and was done with that. You know what the best part about the new Star Trek is? Watching all the content of people crapping all over the new Star Trek. It's so good. There's a new genre of just people crapping on Starfleet Academy. And then that online publication, The Mary Sue, had the nerve to be like, well, you don't like it because it wasn't made for you. And the one reviewer's like, well, it's entertainment, isn't it? Isn't it supposed to be made for everybody?
Yeah.
And wasn't the original series made for everybody?
Well, that's the whole thing. Then you got the battle between the original, next generation, and now this generation.
Missed one. We're moving them up in the world too. Can you tell that they know that a lot of people are going to put these in TRX4s? Because there's not many servos that come with the half-meter servo lead, except for the 45 kg version of the same servo. There we go. We're moving laterally. This generation failed miserably. I think the Critical Drinker on YouTube summed up Starfleet Academy really well. and where he said, you know, he grew up on Star Trek. He's watched all the Star Trek original series, Next Generation. He even liked Star Trek Voyager, Deep Space Nine, all of that. He goes, Starfleet Academy is a show about idiots, made by idiots, for idiots. And I was like, when I found out that the premise of Star Trek Academy is that it takes place in like the year 3200, the original series and Next Generation took place 100 years apart in the Star Trek universe.
Well,
right?
in
their universe, it was 100 years apart. So now we've jumped forward 1,000, almost 1,000 years into the future.
Okay.
But all of the problems still persist. All of the same problem, like humans didn't learn. All the different races, 1,000 years together, all this time expanding out and all the problems are the problems of 21st century America. And I don't need that. I binge watched Shameless and The Walking Dead. I got to a certain point in The Walking Dead and just stopped. And I told myself that I was going to go back. I was a guy that stuck it out with CSI Las Vegas almost until the very end. I tried to make it. I was like, I've committed. How many years? Show was on forever. I was like, I'm going to make it. And even I had to tap out. Because I think what they're counting on is a lack of persistence of memory, where you're going to forget that 8 seasons before, they did this exact episode. They did this exact episode, and now they're doing it again.
Or the other CSI did the same episode.
Did this same episode, but now they're like, oh, it's this serial killer, but this time he's in Vegas.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whatever happened?
Been done in another series.
Yeah. I didn't want to spoil it for the guy who is starting it, but Mr. Doran, same. Glenn and Abraham. The wife and I have been rewatching Bones, NCIS, and Hoarders. Here is
Drops at a certain point where.
Me too, man. Me too. I made it to the point with Negan and just lost interest 100%. Like season 1 of Walking Dead, even though it's got Rick's wife, Lori Grimes, in it, one of the most. It's fantastic. It's fantastic television. But if anybody tries to make the argument that show didn't absolutely Game of Thrones us,
A lot of butt sex?
No, just get worse and worse and worse. Show of hands. Who has seen the final season of Game of Thrones? Keep that hand up. If you've seen the final season of Game of Thrones and you thought, my God, what they did to my boy, raise your other hand, because that was a struggle. That was a struggle to get through that show. To celebrate some good news about my health situation. Woohoo! What are the good news about your health situation? What'd you get? I'm sorry. What did you not get?
What cleared up?
I want to know what happened to Warehouse 13 and Eureka. I want to say that they were both writer's strike victims.
Yeah.
There was a Damian Lewis show called Life that was on NBC, and it got 1 season, and it got shortened because of the writer's strike. That show was excellent. It was so good.
You can watch those ones on Amazon.
There's a lot of shows that got canceled during the writer's strike. The biggest fizzle for the Queen of Dragons. It just, man, what a disappointment. A disappointment on a level that, like, when people talk about how, like, oh, the finale of this show was this bad. Oh, man. Game of Thrones was like, hold my ale.
You're gonna beat you.
Who remembers Briscoe County Jr.? Who doesn't? It was on Fox. Briscoe County definitely only got 1 season. Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Blog, we have that on DVD. My wife likes to rewatch it every once in a while. Special Unit 2. Why is that familiar? And what did I miss when he said what? Did he say what his improved health was? Good news is a good thing. I do remember. Where can you stream Game of Thrones? I assume Max. Should be on HBO Max, right?
HBO, yeah. It's all over HBO.
Hugo is the Queen of Dragons. I didn't know. I didn't know.
Because he works for a cosmetics company.
What did I just watch recently? It's definitely made in UK. They ported it over here onto Netflix. Department Q.
Oh, I like that one.
That was good. I'm waiting for season. I'm waiting for season 2. That was the thing about Department Q too. I forced myself. I was like 1 episode a day. That's all you're allowed to watch. Or you're gonna binge this thing and you're gonna watch the whole thing in 2 days and be bummed because I'm gonna wait a year for the next one. It was really good.
That's why I don't like watching new shows. You get so depressed because you gotta wait so long.
I'm still salty from Firefly. A lot of people are. Most of the show. Okay, there's only 2 things that happen on Fox. One is they won't let a show die.
Yeah.
They will just let it go forever. See Bones. Bones had basically wrapped up as a show. Like, it had come to a finale. Everything was like, we're like, hey, this is pretty good. And then they were like, the ratings are too good. Pump some blood back into that corpse. And as it continued to go, the storylines just got more and more ridiculous. Until you're like, what am I watching? The X-Files got so... I stopped watching The X-Files when Duchovny left. Without Agent Mulder, it's not The X-Files.
We don't have the X-Files anymore.
And again, Fox, Bones turned into a soap opera.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Seems what they all turn into eventually.
Well, they got, because you can only have so many ideas, right? And then the rehashings begin, and then you're just doing, oh my God. If a show has been on long enough to do the clip show, the retrospective episode, it's pretty much over.
Pretty much over, yeah.
Fox didn't save the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Well, yeah, that's the 1 or 2. Do you love this? Fireflied. Are you tired of this? Bones. X-Files. We're just gonna. I don't know if you're aware, but Family Guy and The Simpsons are still going.
Still on air.
Still going. I haven't watched an episode of The Simpsons in probably close to 20 years, and it's still on. Now, God bless, those voice actors. Get that bag. Keep getting paid. Yeah, I have never seen, I kind of have a point of pride that I've never seen a single episode of Supernatural.
I've tried to watch it. I got halfway through and went
Well, here's the thing. Here's why I probably will never see an episode of Supernatural. There's too many. There's too many now. It's too late to start. You bring it up on Netflix and it's like 17 seasons. I'm like, nobody's got time for that. I cannot watch 230 episodes of something. And I actually think the number is way more than 230. They keep trying to get me to watch The Pit because my wife, we're all on the same accounts. And that Noah Wyle, man, he can't stop playing a doctor. Yet my favorite role for Noah Wyle was in, what was the one where the skittery aliens were trying to kill us? Falling Skies. Falling Skies.
I watched a couple episodes.
He was great in that because he maintained this same straight line morality all the way through it, and it was patently unbelievable, right? Like in these apocalypse scenarios, people will compromise their beliefs and everything so fast, and he was so steadfast that you were like, that's not even realistic. But I'm along for the ride. A very inconsistent show. Where did it go? Enjoyed Elementary. Where was the Buffy comment where somebody said, I don't care what anybody says, but I love Buffy.
I like it until the mom dies.
The series Buffy the Vampire Slayer is one of the best TV series that's ever been made, ever. My favorite episode is not because of the musical aspect, but it's the musical episode where that musical demon comes and he makes everybody sing. It actually gives a reason for why there's a musical. A demon is forcing people to sing. And it's the episode after, I mean, I don't think it's spoilers. It was 20 years ago. But Buffy gets killed, right? She dies. There's a funeral and everything. And they bury her. And then they do the witch does the thing. And they bring her back to life. And she has to claw her way out of her own grave. And then when they're doing the musical thing, I still get chills about it now. When they're doing the musical number at the end of it, she's singing about how she was dead and where she doesn't know where she was, but it was warm and she was happy and she thinks she might have been in heaven. And I was like, holy crap, this is not the stuff we talk about on TV. And also, she comes home, opens the door, and her mother's just dead. Just dead. Nobody dies on TV. Unless you're in a war movie, in a war show, or you're in a hospital and you get that death scene where you're like, I just hope that I led a good life. No. She opens the door and she goes, Mom, and her eyes are just wide open. She's just dead. No TV show had ever done that. Death is taboo. We don't talk about actual death. We talk about the stuff that happens because of death. But the deaths are always... You're either sacrificing yourself for the greater good, or you're dying to save the starship, or you're doing whatever. It's always about self-sacrifice. When 99.9% of people die. They get to their ends of their lives and they die. They don't get anything. They don't get the monologue. They don't get any of it. And it was shocking. And you watch Buffy now, 25 years later, and it holds up. It still holds up. You can say whatever you want about Joss Whedon, but that show holds up. And agreed on Allison Hannigan. Willow.
What about Willow?
He said Willow is his celebrity crush. Afterlife is very good with Ricky Gervais. Even though we know he's basically just playing Ricky Gervais.
Well, and those are the best roles because they're themselves.
Yeah.
They don't have to act. This is who I am.
Hey. I'll have to turnbuckle that a hair. Just a tidbit. 45 kg going in. Will those red tires leave red skid marks? No. I wish it was like drift tires.
Like the drag cars that leave red smoke.
I like how screws have temperaments. Like that thing felt like it was stripping out. So I backed it out, went to try to put it, did it again, backed it out, put it. Third tries the charm. Lucy Liu for me. Oh, we're all going to date ourselves now. Death is also used to deprive the hero before he can get the win. Yes, right. But you never get the thing where you just come home, you open the door, and they're dead. That had never happened.
Or if they did, they didn't die. They weren't on screen.
Right. Oh, my God. I do kind of like those, though, where they will kill somebody in a show because of, like, a contractual obligation.
Yeah.
Or like those two women, Michelle Rodriguez and the blonde, when they get killed off of Lost because they'd gotten DUIs in Hawaii. So they just killed them. Like you could tell there was more story. And then just the guy comes in and he's all blam, blam. And you're like, what just happened? They didn't get the speeches or anything. Blam, blam. And it was because they got fired. And there was no chance of them coming back in later episodes. You're both dead now. But yeah, I only did one season of Lost. I'll tell you this. You should revisit. Here's why. When Lost was on TV, if you were watching Lost on television, it was a genuinely miserable experience.
Yeah.
because there would be breaks and there'd be no episodes for like 2 months. And then they'd show you 5 episodes, and then it would be the break for summer. And then you'd come back in October. Oh, no, this year got delayed. It's not going to premiere until December, right? When you sit down and binge Lost, it makes a lot more sense. You don't have to remember stuff. You don't have to remember stuff. It's way more cohesive. Now, if you disagree with the ending, that's fine. I'm not going to argue with you. But I think that if the wife binged Lost and watched the whole series over the course of under less than a month, and I was like, you know what? Kind of on board with Lost. And it was a very character-driven show, and I don't have any problem with that. I liked Lost. I need to change 5 to 3. If we're going to use a speed control with an 8.4 BEC in it, might as well get a servo that can use it. You know what? This radio doesn't work because it's not the right radio. Bet this one does, though. Just finished changing everything single screw in an Enduro Builder's Kit 3 to stainless. Took me over 2 hours. I like that. I like that.
The other way. Just take it all apart and put them all back together with screws. Not one by one.
You know what?
It works.
It's all right. Associated screws start rusting just by looking at them wrong. Yeah, it's all graded hardware. And when you buy that hardware, like I should have some fresh ones right here. Which ones did I order most recently?
They rust in the box.
So these are all from McMaster Industrial. And I don't know if it'll show. Yeah, they have that little kind of gloss to them. It's because, you can smell them. They're all packed in like machine oil because these are they're black oxide coated and these will rust like crazy. But this is the desert. So most of these rigs, and I can say certainly most of these rigs have never seen anything beyond wet ground. The dirt, we'll get into some hero dirt, but they've never seen hardship. That's why Bruce and Sheila and all that, they're all stainless. I go through a lot of stainless.
Ironsides fell in the pond.
Ironsides has got rusty screws. He's going to be real interesting to take apart. He is going to have, I'm going to have to, I've got the, liquid wrench? I got the liquid wrench handy because I'm going to have to shorten Ironside's wheelbase from 324 to 313 to put the Bronchi on him. Just painted a Toyota hardbody for the 3rd time. Some paints don't mix. That is true. That is true.
So said the guy at the hobby shop.
So said the knowledgeable guy at the hobby shop, because I was buying a can of Spastics and a can of Tamiya at the same time. And he was like, you can't mix those. And I was like, I just looked down and I'm like, one can is Corsa Gray and the other can is Olive Drab. And I was like, well, I'm not insane. But I was also thinking, I have had a paint interaction. I know Sputtercrawler had a bad one where the paint just fell off. The top layer just went blah. It just fell off. And that'll happen because you got lacquers and enamels. And lacquer and enamel usually isn't a problem. It's lacquer and lacquer or enamel and enamel. Because
I know what
they run the same solvent, so they melt each other.
Jolly green. When it just fused. I know it was one of them that it made it really hard paint when you put it on top of the top coat.
Oh, yeah. What one was that? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Because when I painted Misdirection and I used, I think it was Jolly Green, when he was his old heavy body. I used that farm and implement paint, which took 2 days to dry. And once it dried, it was like hard as iron. He still barely has any scratches on that body. I used scale finishes over Tamiya. That went horribly. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, kind of the best way to go about it is if your base coat is Tamiya, top coated in Tamiya. I had to wash it completely off with reducer the first time. That's why if I'm painting ABS, I'm going to the hardware store and I'm buying a can of Krylon Fusion. I haven't decided. I'm thinking about having the kid paint this because I don't have to do any special. They can just paint it because it's just going on ABS, and then I'll just go over it and clear. We'll see what they whip up. We'll see what they think of.
That's 2 for the Connor.
That's 2 for the Connor. I still can't get over the sheer size of that thing. That's.
Oh, did you show them what you picked up at the hobby shop?
Oh no, secrets. They mustn't know. We're doing things. Things is what we're doing. We're cutting a bunch more zip ties.
You wait for me to say ew before you hit the button, don't you?
Cutting a bunch of zip ties.
That wasn't a zip tie, sir.
And I found I found that one this time. They're going back to being twin oh, that's a bunch more wires, guy. Maybe I don't need to cut those though. I don't. They're going back to being brothers again. No more mismatched servos. Had that doing my full paint to me, a Ranger body reaction due to me being impatient, not letting it dry properly, full strip and repaint. Ugh. That is a Bruce land anchor. For real. It is titanium too. That's crazy. Stainless steel? No, it's not magnetic at all.
No.
I think they claim titanium.
If they're making the cage out of titanium, that's titanium too.
They're doing
that
some.
Thing's light.
Yeah, it really is. Ooh, good balance.
In stainless steel, that thing would be a brick.
What gearboxes work well with a fusion? BFD, anything 3-gear. So Stealth X, 3-gear dig box.
Fit it in, put it in.
If you can fit it in, put it in. Stealth XF, LCXU. If it fits, run it. Gearboxes, they don't traditionally work well on. Little wee babby ones like OD3s, Nod 2s, Ultralights. Oh, this guy is supposed to go on that because it has the little hook for it. Does the hook supposed to? I'm wondering if that little hook on the back goes up in there in the little tooth. But Bruce has a winch. Bruce has a functional winch, and I'm always afraid that I'm going to hit the switch and snap his winch line. I'm not saying that I've snapped winch lines before.
Well, now, what do you use for winch line? Winch line, or do you use like Dacron?
That most people use Dacron, like fishing line.
Yeah.
I need to order a spool of it. Hey. Do we have any winchers in the chat? Is there any winchers? Are any of the winchers also disc orders? Somebody send me a link where I can go on Amazon and buy the right kind of line so that I can re-spool Bruce's winch. And when I build the winch for the rainforest guy, because I'm gonna make my own spool for it. I'm gonna build I'm building a spool. I'm not kidding. I'm going to use, I don't know if I have one. I am going to use a gearbox similar to this one, right, to build my winch out of. And where this comes out, I'm going to build a spool that is that big around and probably as wide as it will allow me to fit inside the chassis. And then it will have an outrunner on it. So actually it'll be this way. So there'll be an outrunner here, and here's the spool, and the front of the vehicle is that way. And I'm going to build a spool that's like as deep as the outrunner and tall, and I'm not kidding. I'm going to put 30 feet of winch line on it.
As much line will fit on it.
As much line as will fit on the spool. I want to go full rainforest and be like, just pay that thing out. Because down here in the drawer, I don't remember how it got here. But I have a dim memory. I've got a 2204 Komodo 118 2500 kV. Who wants the 2500 kV winch? This guy. 2500 kV winch. You need nylon line, spider wire stealth blue camo braid, 30 pounds. See, that's what I'm talking about.
30 pounds?
That's what I'm talking about.
200-pound Dacron.
200-pound Dacron? See, this is the thing. If I go on Amazon and I just start searching for this, I don't know what to buy. I don't fish.
You don't know how much of it you're going to need.
Oh my God. That can't be right.
Spider wire is kind of expensive.
Not really.
Yeah, it used to be.
Trilene big game. Okay, now I'm understanding the problem. Now I'm really understanding the problem. 30-pound braid is too thin and will spool tangle a lot. No. Okay, see, Doran linked it on, I just sent the link for the line I use on my 16-pound Defender. That's going to be the stuff that I'm going to buy. Because the ones that come up on Spider Wire first, the box is did they say 3,000 feet? No, it says 3,000 yards.
That's quite a bit.
9,000 feet? I don't need 2 miles of it.
Well, depending on the price. Be like, who needs...
No camo braid. I want it to show up on camera. That's true.
Yes, camo makes everything.
Micro paracord on Amazon, 100-pound. 1.18 millimeter. Can you just print a spool to attach directly to the output of the outrunner?
That guy's gonna make it out of aluminum.
You're really going to want. There's a reason they use the gearboxes. The outrunner, all outrunners are effectively built for RPM and not for actual torque. Like if you had the spool driving directly off the outrunner, a decent-sized outrunner on a drone with a big old prop on it is going to produce like 7 pounds of thrust, which means that outrunner could, if things moved linearly, which they do not, would produce like 7 pounds of torque. You run it through that gearbox, it's going to produce 5 times that.
It's going to multiply.
Yeah, we need 550 cord is parachute cord, and the center thread inside the 550 cord is strong as hell. If you want to come over here, Mr. Hurley, if you want to come over here and de-braid 550 paracord,
and then tie the ends together.
What about a large capacity sewing machine bobbin as a spool? That's what a lot of people use, but don't forget, I have lathes. So I can make an aluminum spool to the exact dimension that I want it to be, or a Delrin spool to the exact dimension that I want it. And I have somewhere close to 15 feet on a Warren winch on the Defender. Nice. Yeah. I've always wondered about a micro brushless motor with an SCX24 transmission and a winch. Yeah. The center part of a 550 cord isn't braided. All you have to do is pull it out. Is that a fact?
Yeah, but then you need to buy, what, 50 feet of paracord? 30 feet of paracord?
I might have paracord here. Maybe. And then
remember, paracord's not
I'm going to refuse to do it, so I'm going to send somebody in to do it for me. I have no idea, do I just use a little, what do I run that motor off of? I mean, obviously, and it's like a speed control, but what are they using? They're not running a full AM32 Escape 32 to run that thing, right? It's got to be some sort of like tiny little speed control for like an SCX24 or something, right? Some sort of microcontroller.
You'd think, if it can handle the motor.
I get so bummed that I missed most of the live stream. Were you gone and then you came back? The winch should be the passenger figure. Oh, Big Mike's Crawler says he'll send me some braid. Hey!
Thank you.
Hey. That way I won't buy the wrong thing, because, baby, I will buy the wrong thing. You know what I don't like on the internet? Certainty. There are people out there
This is the thing you have to...
that they speak with such certainty, and then running on a Mamba X.
Yes.
If it's a tiny motor, Dinky RC has a tiny speed control. Sounds accurate. They will be like, this is the absolute best of this thing. And then you either try it or you watch more of their content and you go, you know what? I'm not sure this guy knows what he's talking about. You should come to the Crawlers and Coffee event next Saturday at Brackett Airport. I was talking to one of the slightly more local guys here, and he was talking about going out to it. And my question for my head that I have no answer to is that I might have one of the wife's sister's birthday parties that day, but I need to find out what time that party is, because they are one of the, and it doesn't matter, they'll never see this, they're one of the beer people. Do you ever, and I feel like I'm speaking to something approximating a choir right now. I'm preaching to the choir right now. Do you have anyone in your life? Do you have anyone in your life that
Gets home and cracks a beer?
that no that they get to a point where their pursuits and their identity become one thing, right? Okay. You may be aware. I don't know, some of you, a couple of you have to be aware. I do a YouTube thing, and most of it is centered around like tiny toy cars that go slow, right? You may have seen some of it. When I'm not here, if it's not Friday between 12 and 3:30, where I'm talking to y'all, or I'm not on the Discord, or I'm not recording content to be uploaded to YouTube, I don't talk to nobody about tiny toy cars. This is not my identity. This is my pastime and my pursuit. One might be able to convince me that it's my passion. It's a thing that I do, right? And I do feel passionately about it. But now we're talking about people whom if you sit down in their proximity, they will talk about beer within 5 minutes is maybe a long estimate. And please do take into account, same as I do, I don't talk about toy cars to non-toy car people unless...
They ask about it.
Didn't someone on here, it's an unwise man that speaks in absolutes just earlier? Yeah. The only thing I speak in absolutes about is because he and I have is what is turning into a feud about whether or not you should vent a tire. And no one will ever convince me that you shouldn't. Every tire in this building has at least 2 4mm holes punched in it. Because we are driving in very different environments, he and I. And he has admitted as such that he drives through from basically mud bog to mud bog. And if I was driving from mud bog to mud bog, you know what? I'm probably not going to vent my tires either. But guess what? That truck's not going to be very good at crawling rocks. Nor would I expect it to be so. If I had to drive from mud bog to mud bog, it would be a TRX-4 fully sealed with Fling Kings on it. You know, if I'm going in mud, we're going in mud, baby. Like vegans only talk about being a vegan. Yeah, how do you know somebody's a vegan? Don't worry, they'll tell you.
Exactly.
What is there to say about beer other than I like it or I don't like it? Oh, my friend. Oh, my beautiful, lovely friend. They are micro brew people. They brew beer in their garage. They meet up with other people that brew beers in their garage, and they talk about the beers that they brew in their garages. And the problem is, I don't care. I don't care. And what I do is I operate from the perspective that they don't care about tiny toy cars. So I don't talk to them about tiny toy cars. If someone asks me, hey, how's that YouTube thing going? I will talk about that YouTube thing. Right? Or they'll say, hey, how are those? I've got a friend that's interested in a tiny toy car. And I'll be like, you know what? Send him here, or have him look at this, or ask him what his budget is, like that. But I don't offer. I've made this analogy before. I started bowling, this one. I started bowling when I was 11 years old. 11. I've been bowling basically my whole life. I will never, ever tell anyone how to bowl unless they come to me directly and they say to me in direct words to my face, what am I doing wrong? What should I be doing that I'm not doing? What should I not be doing that I am doing? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Nope, I'm a liar. I just lied to you right now. One time we were bowling and we were on the even number lane and they're on the odd number lane, and there's a young lady, probably in her mid-20s, and she was bowling over here, and I swear to God, every time she went up to the line and the ball comes, so you got, this is her leg, and this is the ball. She'd come down on her swing and she would nail her calf right below her knee. Every time. And the ball would go that way every time. And after she had done it about 7 times, and I'm sitting there going, how is she not feeling this? She's literally hitting herself in the leg with a 10-pound sphere every time she goes up there. So I go, I'm sorry, I don't mean to bother you. I go, but you're hitting yourself in the leg every time you go up there, and that's why you're not bowling very well. I go, what you need to do? I go, it's pretty simple. When you go up there, just pretend you're fancy. Just take your left arm, your non-bowling arm, throw it out to the side. Throw it out to the side when you go to roll. Because as you're dipping to roll the ball, your shoulder naturally dips. If you throw your arm up, you accentuate how much that shoulder dips. So she does it. She throws her arm out to the side, and I kid you not, she rolled that ball down there. She got an 8. She did not get a strike, but it didn't go in the gutter. So I felt like I actually helped somebody, because I was like, my God, everybody who's bowled has clipped themselves in the leg once or twice. It doesn't feel good. No. And she just did it over and over. I felt like it was my civic duty to be like, young lady, please stop mauling your leg with that house bowling ball. So in that event, I will step up and bother somebody. My best game ever was a 277. Ringing 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, ringing 10 in the 9th frame, followed by a double, and all of my energy had gone from my body at that point. I was as tired as I've ever been. Like, I felt like I was going to fall down, and I got a 7 on the last ball for 277. So what does that tell you? That tells you that in the cruelty of bowling, I was 4 pins away from a 300. Because if that ringing 10 had gone down in the 9th, and I had struck out, that's a 300 game. So I wouldn't even call it a mistake. I hit that pocket. I blame it on their crappy old pins in that house.
They don't rotate pins.
They don't rotate the pins. One of the pins that came down in that rack was not in my favor. Because when that pin action went, one of the pins just went, and just laid down, and he didn't carry over and knock that 10 down. And that 10 was doing the... and yeah, I was physically exhausted, because once you've gotten past, I would say 7 in a row, if you've rolled 7 strikes in a row, when you step up to the return and you pick your ball up, the whole building gets quiet. People stop bowling. You can hear all the machines. You roll that 8th ball and you're like, you hear the puh of the ball go. There's no other sounds. And you're like, this is not helping.
You're on the PGA.
Get back out there and bowl, man.
Yeah.
Get out there and bowl. Because I've gotten to bowl at real houses. I've gotten to bowl at real houses where, like, you bowl in Vegas. Go to Vegas after they've had, like, the World Bowling Championship, WBC Finals at the bowling stadium or the one in Reno. You get to roll on the tournament pins before they take them out. The action.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Pins move.
It looks like an explosion every time the ball goes into the pit. Pins are just, and you're like, man, I ain't never hit a pin like that at home. Because those pins, and they, you know, the lane you're bowling on Thursday got oiled on Monday.
No, wasn't kind of oil.
They would just clean them up.
The machine.
The machine would go down and come back over to the next lane, down and come back. They weren't resurfacing. They weren't re-oiling. They were just cleaning them up. And we were bowling in the league there one week, and one of the guys on the other team was left-handed, and the oil had built up so badly in his strike ball track because no bowling balls go through that spot. He was bowling so bad. He was so bad. And there was nothing he could do. If he was one board either way of where he went, it either went dead straight or hooked all the way over and went like through the 6 pin. And I'm like, well, sometimes you feast and sometimes you famine. And that guy did not feast that night. And I roll a bowling ball too fast and I can't be stopped. So it doesn't, whatever the lane oil pattern is, it doesn't really matter to me.
I used to start on the one board and went all the way to the other side.
I've always been doing stuff with tires and engines,
back.
from tiny toy trucks to full-size hot rods and race cars. I don't think I can effectively converse with normal people. Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you get in a conversation with a person, here's a way to fool the public into thinking that you are quote unquote normal. Ask that person about what they do or what they like, and then just let them talk about it for a little while. That's it. Just let them talk about it for a little while. But I know too many people, many of them by marriage, whom that would never even be a thought or a consideration. I remember, I think about this often, because I don't remember, it was on a TV series many, many, many years ago. And the guy said something to the effect of, do you think to a time, can you ever recall talking to another person where you could actively feel that when that person who you are presumably conversing with, the vibe that they're giving off is just that they're waiting for their turn to talk. They're waiting for you to stop talking so they can start talking, right? We've all met that person. And the thing of it is, I don't think there's any malevolence to it. I think that's just how some people are. So I make an effort. I have plenty of opportunity. I am presented with more than enough opportunity to talk as much as I want, because when I'm recording a video and I'm making a video, nobody can stop me. I can say as much as I want and I can talk as long as I want. Nobody can stop me. So when I'm in a conversation with another person, I at least make an effort to let that person say their piece. That's 95% of people. Are you a gynecologist?
I have this growth in my... Then they want free medical advice.
Yeah, I would say that probably of the norms out there, doctors are probably the ones who are least likely to... If you ask a doctor at a party what's going on, he'll be like, well, I had a pretty good golf game on Saturday. He's not going to talk about being a doctor.
Not going to shop talk.
I mean, we all dream. A YouTuber, it doesn't matter what the YouTuber is. There is some small part of their brain that is hoping that someone asks them about YouTube. No matter, it doesn't have to be a YouTuber. If that guy is a disc golfer, he's hoping someone is going to ask him about disc golf. And the truth of it is, unless I started wearing t-shirts that say, ask me about RC rock crawling, no one is going to ask me about RC rock crawling.
Nope.
Yeah, I only talk about tiny toy cars that go slow and asked about hobbies. As soon as I say what I like, their eyes just glaze over. Yes. I know a lot of people who are all about me. Yep. Humans are to a degree naturally egocentric, yes. I believe. Any way to repair stripped plastic threads on a TRX4, screwed motor cover on slowly, and it's stripped. Okay, so the issue here is that the part that is being threaded into is the actual housing of the transmission. The motor mount is just through holes. And the little one, there's the 3. You've got the 2 that are down here and the 1 in the back. It's that one in the back that usually strips out because it is so shallow. It's like an M3x6. So if you give it like half a turn too much, it will just pull the plastic out. Now, it's not something that I would recommend going through the hassle of helicoiling or trying to fix in any notable way. The cheapest method is to go on Jenny's or go on Amazon or Amen and just buy gearbox plastics, or go on Jenny's and buy a whole gearbox, or go on Amazon and spend like $50 and buy an aluminum housing. Because the aluminum housings tend to have machine gears and aluminum shift forks in them, and you can get some of them for like $35. Yeah, the good thing about TRX4 plastics is they are cheap and easy to replace. I don't know the part number off the top of my head, but I would wager that the TRX4 gearbox plastics are probably under $10, like $9.99 for the front half and the back half. Right? My PDGA number is 13276. Okay, I'll ask.
Okay.
What's a PDGA? Professional Disc Golfers Association? See?
Right.
I knew there was a disc golfer in there waiting for somebody to ask him about disc golf.
Disc golfing.
It looks very intriguing because a lot of places where cycling paths go tend to overlap or intersect with disc golf courses. And it looks kind of fun. Like, I don't mind walking, but at the same time, I'm like,
I'd rather golf.
What if I buy stuff and I hate it? This servo has too much throw. I'm going to have to dial that back. I got to check the other boy as well. Otherwise, I'm going to break something. That arm went almost 90 degrees.
I thought you'd do that with XP steering trim.
EPA, yeah. I even remember it's 5-3 value. Okay. Silence is the best ever. If I don't talk to people, people don't talk to me, and silence reigns great. Since 95, that's, man, yeah, he is, that is certainly before it was cool. I didn't even know disc golf was a thing in 1995.
Nope.
TRX4 lower gearbox pieces, TRX 8238, the Professional Dandelion Growers Association. I thought that's just all sidewalks. TRX, actually that should be TRA 8238. Because I'm pretty sure all Traxxas part numbers are TRA. $8. Oh, that's the lower covers. No. I think he'll be talking about the housings, the actual housings, the front and rear housings for the gearbox. Because again, aside from coming in from the side, I don't think there's threaded parts from the gearbox into the skid unless he stripped one of those back ones out. I guess that's possible.
I thought it was putting the gear cover on.
I thought it was the gear cover.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it.
The Panamanian Dog Groomers Alliance. 82.91 is $12. Yeah. All the kids at work are disc golfers, and they ask me all the time. I have to go. I say, nope, it's okay. I'm okay. I don't smoke the devil's lettuce. Oh my goodness. Not that we would stereotype. Not that we would ever stereotype. But the same thing can be said for most, but not all, certainly not all, mountain bikers are also partakers of the devil's lettuce.
You'd feel that, you'd have to be more in a chill environment to partake of the devil's lettuce.
Yeah, well, most of those mountain bikers, they're on the search for flow state, like surfers do. They just want to get out on the single track and they want to be like, I'm not talking about like I'm not talking about like Red Bull Rampage. I don't think those guys are partaking before they go do a death-defying 90-foot backflip in the Utah desert.
Well, not on that day.
You can probably smoke dandelions too? Probably. If it can be smoked, a human has tried to smoke it. And if it can't be smoked, a human has tried to smoke it.
You smoke everything in a smoker.
The only thing I want smoked is like ribs and brisket. That's how I want my smoked. Woohoo! We're going to have to go down and back up on this boy. You can eat or tea. Most MTBers I know are just into beers. I think they're all into beers. My doc sent me a note to quit smoking, so I rolled it and I smoked it. That's wild. I must have ordered 270s. I had to have ordered 270s. Oh, that label is on there very nicely. That's at like 60% throw, and it's too much. Which means the throw...
60 degrees.
$85, $83. That's pretty close. Now, it'll do this, though.
There's your servo horn centered.
I'm still surprised by the grip of the blues and the reds. Look at that front tire. Yep. Okay. I'm either going to have to trim these or find a different bumper. They used to have those little push bar bumpers, and these 4 holes are basically stripped out. So I've got to get maybe 10 Pros. Find some little 10 Pro bumpers because those are so small. Because I like the looks of these guys with bumpers on the front. But so he's already got doubles. So, I mean, that's way over there. That's just missing kissing the link. Woo! Cider Boy cider is the jam. Don't do beer either. My wife drinks nothing except Angry Orchard crisp apple cider. That is her only beer-like beverage of choice. She doesn't do any other. Did I leave his battery in him? I did. I'll just leave that in there too.
Say what you want, but most beers don't taste good.
Well, that's why they call them acquired tastes. 2 minutes. Oh my God! It's 3:28. What happened? How has this become of us?
Talking about the devil's lettuce.
And I can't put this guy back together. I'll have to finish that in the morning. Ugh. We're spilling into another day. Yeah. Who even made near beer? Right?
What's the point?
Like, Beer, not, like, to me, it smells like urine, to be honest. But I do not partake. Not of the beer, not of the devil's lettuce, not any of it. So the notion of drinking beer for the taste is crazy because it smells like somebody taking a leak. I can't imagine that it tastes amazing. Maybe it does. I'm not going to find out. Oh, the Spaniard is falling asleep. Take heart, young Spaniard. You made it till the end. You made it to the very end. I mean, I'm not done. I'll have to do all this later. But I got through some of it. We unbagged a thing. It's not a live stream without an unboxing in it. Should be a hoot to put together. I'm actually going to have to watch some of those videos so I don't cut the wrong bits and bobs. We'll make sure. We'll see what we can do. Got to get Dusty back together because he has like 3 or 4 sets of tires that he's got to test in the upcoming weeks. And then we've got 3 or 4 sets for Baseline and 3 or 4 sets for Wolverine. So it's a pretty even split. Everybody gets a chance. Yeah, I know, I keep forgetting. And see, and then I'll notice at like when we're already into 1 minute into overtime. 1 minute. Yeah, more tires for the spreadsheet. Oh, that does remind me. I need to go on the spreadsheet and update the trail tire section with tires for trail. Yeah. So I'll see you all in the next one. Oh, by the way, there's a video in a half an hour. Hey, if you haven't had enough of me, there's more for later. Thanks for everything. Have a good time, everybody. See you in the next one. In between now and when we meet again, please one all do your best. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you again here in the canyon. We're going to do some things. Doors are already closing. It's now 77 degrees. The temperature inside the building went up 10 degrees during the course of this. We'll see you on the next one. You know what? Did anybody notice, because I didn't until right now, that we made it all the way through this and that sign never flashed? I just grabbed the remote to make it stop flashing and it's too late. It already happened. I'll see you next time, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all the people that hung out. Thanks for all the people who contribute to the growth of the Sawtooth. It keeps us buying dumb toy car stuff for toy cars that go slow. I'll see y'all real soon. I might see you on the Discord today. You know, you never know. I don't know. You don't know.